Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. My name is Tia Rodgers, and I'm coming before you today to introduce to you my book, Finding Your Way. Um, when you decide that it will be you that will make the difference in your life. What do you do when there is nowhere to hide and nowhere to go? How do you move forward when the cards feel like they are stacked against you? Do you believe that God will see you through? Well, God is working on me and I'm trusting the process. And being confident of this very thing, that he which hath began a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. And that's Bible verse Philippians 1, verse 6. So I'm going to share my screen with you now, and I'm going to um, begin. I'm going to share Finding Your Way, guys. Let me see. Okay. Congratulations on betting on you. Hello and welcome. I'm Tia Rodgers, a home based business owner. I'm glad that you took the courage to bet on yourself and start creating the life you create instead of the life you are given to live. Our mission is to help one individual, one family at a time in a variety of areas to create their MBA, massive bank account, life and lifestyle. Each individual and family is as unique and diverse, and their needs and requirements are just as unique as they are. And we take that into consideration while guiding them through achieving their ideal quality of life. Through peer to peer counseling, which helps individuals navigate as they face life on life terms, health and wellness, exploration of the world through travel, financial literacy education, as well as retail of home goods and more. As we are growing, our mission is to collaborate with agencies that help individuals and families that is open to become homeowner and need a hand up to achieve their dreams despite their challenges they face. In life, there are no guarantees. However, as individuals, we have the power to create the life we desire when we take control of ourselves and our lives. As each day we have a choice to decide to become a winner or just ride the roller coaster of life. What if I offered you the opportunity to build your very own roller coaster riding life? Would you be interested in learning more? Learning how? Are you willing to show up, show out every day in order to make this roller coaster ride manifest in your life? What are you willing to sacrifice to ensure that this roller coaster becomes the new path of adventures for your life, no matter what life may throw at you? Do you have what it takes to navigate, and can you come up with solutions for the challenges you may face along the construction of this new life roller coaster ride you're creating? For many life For many life business owners, sales can be unpredictable and getting new customers can feel like a game of chance. If you want to grow your business consistently and profitably, you need to think of customers acquisition not as an outcome, but as a process. Selling online or offline in general, residential, resi- and generating residual income and achieving your desired income goal can be a journey as you navigate your way to the top of the ranking ladder and help others and yourself as you go along the way. It's perfectly okay if you don't have the skills. Everyone can obtain them as it's skilled practice over and over again. And remember, no one is perfect. However, we are capable of perfecting our skills over time by going the extra mile, doing the everyday business life activities required in building your life business. Life is like a mathematical equation with many variables that can change the outcome of your life equation. More than 189 million Americans have credit card debt on average. Each household with credit cards carry $8,398 in debt. America's census found that 8.5% of the US population went without medical insurance for all of 2018, up from 7.9% in 2017. 2019 average credit card debt, according to Experian American households, carried 6,194, has dropped within the past year. Credit card debt has decreased by 9%, bringing the total U.S. outstanding credit card debt to 756 billion, the lowest point since 2017. Are you ready to take control of your life by building a debt-free, credible building life for you and your family? Being someone who cares about people, their success in life, we are not here to judge anyone, and this is why I created this customer business partner valuable resource to help you as a guide to help you move toward your success. Many of us work every day. However, no matter how much we save and work, we just can't accomplish to live the life we desire. We live paycheck to paycheck and sacrificing time away from our families just to be able to afford a family vacation, only to come back and do it all over again. Never reaching the wealth in life, money, never reaching the wealth in life, monetary worth that will allow us to breathe lighter and lift some of the burdens that come with a responsible individual, parent, and or spouse that may have faced life on life terms. Remember, it is a mistake to believe you can reap the rewards without the sacrifice. When creating a roller coaster life adventure, you must have a strategy. It's important to know exactly what your interests of service and or products, what they are and how they operate, as well as how it will benefit you as well as others. What do you have that will set you apart and what will you actually be sharing with others? What expertise value do you have to create life experiences of a lifetime? I want you to take a trip with me now. Now, if your descendants are kings and queens, inventors, philosophers, healers, scientists, world leaders, sole proprietors, educators, lawyers, nurses, doctors, janitors, maids, sharecroppers, nannies, caregivers, mothers, fathers, what are the chances of duplicating the same as each new generation is coming up by starting with you? Do you think that the duplication is higher or lower? What are the barrier variables that can affect the outcome or breakdown in the duplication process? Do you know what it will take to become the best version of yourself? And what will that look like as you manifest it into your new life adventures? How will you achieve your highest self? Smart, specific, who, what, when, where, and how. M for measurable. How much money? How many people's lives can you touch? A, attainable. What do you have now? R, realistic. Willing and able to do the work needed. T, timely. Today, next week, not for me. Money is numbers, and numbers never end. If it takes money to be happy, your search for happiness will never end. Quote from Bob Marley. In the book, The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale, he asked the question, out of 100 people between the age of 25 to 65 along the life journey, what happens during the process of growth and maturity in life between the ages of 25 to 65 that leaves the 5% make the grade, and why do so many fail? The disparity between what these individuals intend to do and what they actually accomplish out of the journey, many would agree that it's all about mindset and how fast you can bounce back from life's challenges. Is it the mindset or is it something more? And or a combination of mindset, beliefs, spirituality, health, relationships, and the ability to communicate effectively, one's needs and wants, and the will to create it in their lives. In business, people will fall into four percentiles. 15% will join for a cause, charity, organization. Another 15 will join for the fun and possibly notoriety and all that comes with it. Another 35% will join based on the facts of the background of the opportunity, and other 35% will join because they are fast driven and enjoy the speed of increase of numbers during the lifetime of the membership. Approximately 20% of new businesses fall during during the first 2 years of being open, 45% during the first 5 years, and 65% the first 10 years. And only 25% of new businesses make it to 15 years or more, according to Investopedia. We also encourage each individual to research success rates of businesses for themselves, as it helps if you have no idea of what type and or kind of business you're interested in pursuing. Attending informational webinars also helps with further information on your business and or services. This helps to provide you a clear picture of what you expect and what you're getting for the price of membership and the benefits of having the membership. You cannot always control what goes on outside, but you can always control what goes on inside. Wayne Dyer. Do you know what network professionals you like to join? Why are you interested in opening a business? What is your educational level? This question doesn't really matter yet. It does. As you grow your business, it will determine if you will have to source out or learn it yourself. Where are you currently in your field of work? Are you A, working? B, unemployed? C, are you on a fixed income? D, are you in between gigs? Are you a homeowner or do you rent? Do you know your debt to income ratio and current credit situation and score? It's true you can start a business at a low cost, and you must remember you're being offered the opportunity to partner with debt free business owners. Your ability to be able to keep and continue revenue in your business membership requirements in order to have a business is an important factor. If you have a business or not, default in membership payments may or may not have a grace period prior to having to restart your membership, should you decide to continue. So it's very important to explore your back office dashboards, company policies, compliance, and procedures to operate as an independent business owner with their company of your choice. Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. Author Ash. Many business owners will tell you that they started from the bottom and made it to the top, and that is possible for you too as well. Starting anything new is always full of emotions, and should you choose to join us, you too, as no one is exempt. That's why it's important to be able to utilize the coping skills of self mastery. A. Who are you? B. What are your beliefs? C. How are your relationships? D. Where are you at in your life? E. Where do you wish to be in your life in 5 years? F. What steps are you willing to take to get there? G. What will it look like? H. Are you able to problem solve? I. How do you problem solve when you are not able to get the answers you are seeking? J. Are you in good health? K. How well are you at setting a schedule or getting tasks done in time frames? L. What is your perspective on failure? Having a vision of your business helps a lot as you grow your business. How much do you require yourself to earn in this business? How well do you know your business and services and products to share it with others? How much time are you willing to dedicate into building your business? Will you be part time or full time in your business? One day I decided that my situation was not going to change if I couldn't come up with a way to gain control over my life. I had no time for family or friends, no flexibility, and I was broke. Now, don't get me wrong, I was not destitute. I was just like most of Americans today, a working parent with the basic needs, responsibilities, working paycheck to paycheck just to make ends meet. It wasn't until the end of 2016 and the beginning of 2017 that I started to look seriously at my financial situation and the world I had created. I had been doing some research on e commerce and working from home opportunities for about a good 4 years prior on my, prior on my smartphone and laptop. Whenever I had a chance, I enrolled in Sam Peters' Digital Altitude Business Adventure, and it was in this training that the light bulb came on for me. And I share that moment with a close associate, and he told me his son's business with Shopify, and he sent me a link. So, my next session with my wonderful coach, Marley D, whom was very informative about her platform, and I inquired if she ever heard of Shopify, and she said yes, but she was not familiar with the platform. We continued to discuss my training with Digital Altitude Business Adventure, and I was not able to fully commit at the time to move forward in my training. And I agreed to get back in touch with Marley D when I was ready to go all in, and that was the early November 2017. I was blessed to still have at least one of my jobs at the time, but I knew that one income was not going to get everything done that I was working on. And on top of all that, I was recovering from exhaustion from working two full time jobs, about a year and some. So I knew I had to start working smarter, not harder. One night after a long day at work, I came home and finally took a look at the Shopify link and watched the tutorial by Corey on how to start your own Shopify platform. It offered you a 14-day free trial period. If you decided to join, you can do so for as low as $29.99 a month. It offers you free apps, products to add, and some paid apps to help you run your store. You can obtain a domain for $14 per year. It offers you the burst free photos. You also get the hatch free logo maker. Uh, and marketing marketing starts as low as $35 to $250. Please note, business budgets and goals vary, determined by the type of business you're doing. So, this example here, listed above, is just a basic information source to go by if one was to decide this platform is for them. I thought to myself, wow, this could possibly fit into my budget. I discussed it with a few family and friends to get their feedback, and I must say that it was mixed feedback. I remember thinking, can you do this? Are you going to be able to put in the time needed for this to come together? How are you going to do this? You're not computer savvy. How are you going to pay your bills and start a business? All these thoughts were racing through my head. That weekend, I had a sleepover with my grandchild, and once my grandchild settled down, I was able to catch a YouTube recording of John Asper, how to set and achieve any goal you have in your life. Goal setting stood out to me, was obtaining clarity and focus to achieve your goal. Goals, health, financially, spiritually, and debt free day. Business or career, relationships, legacy. Set a goal you have. Do not, don't know, set a goal you have. Don't know how to achieve charitable contributions, time, and finances. You need strategy, tactics, and a process. Habits, change your routine. Beliefs, explicit and implicit. If you haven't had a chance to see this recording, please check it out. I just recently had the opportunity to watch one of he and his team's brainathon, and it was very enlightening. And I wish I could have watched it to the end, but life calls. However, watching this YouTube recording and taking some time to go back to some goals that I was previously working on prior to my storm, as I like to call it. This process took me about a good week to do, but I started looking real good at the person in the mirror. I developed Tammy's Market with Shopify. I must say, the setup was not bad at all. Shopify and their partners provided all the training materials you will need to use their digital drop shipping system that is already set up for you to add your themes, pages, blog product, description posts, products, and more. Shopify provides 24/7 customer support, marketing tools, and analytic reports that tell the story of your store. I was so excited and amazed that even though I didn't have much computer skills, I was getting the job done. So I worked on building my store piece by piece. So from December 2017 to April 2018, I worked days and nights to accomplish my goals and making sure store settings, pages, about us, contact us, shipping, email, etc., was all in place. As these pages are very crucial to your new platform and your potential customers, it provides authenticity to your store. One day I was working on my store and something just felt like it was missing. So I called the support team, Shopify Gurus. These guys rock. I tell you, I would call all hours of the night and someone would answer and follow up via email to ensure I received the information needed from whatever issue I was having. And they still do. However, I find that I don't have to call as much anymore. Well, on this day, I called and the guru did an inquiry upon my request, and she said, everything is in place and looks good. You can go live and start marketing. Congratulations. And look up. I was shocked. So much so, I didn't celebrate it as it should have been. I thanked the guru and went live, and I watched my store come to life. I was terrified, basically, laughing. Now I have to prepare marketing ads. Now, this is where, for me, the goal setting fell in the oh no category. I was scared to death. Yep, you guessed it, a stressaholic. This is where the mindset has to kick in. Yes, feel what you feel, but I had to trim my brain. I had to train my brain to think more positive than negative. And it was a process, as fear has a way of making me want to fight or flight. Grateful that I always chose fight and grateful that I always chose flight in instance like this. So I told myself that it is okay to step away from things for a bit. Nothing will go wrong. It will just run, and it did. And I did also. I was able to reconnect and pull myself back in. And guess what? I went back with fresh eyes and continued to work. I am so proud of the work that I have put in up to this point and excited about moving forward and really begin to change lives one family at a time. I will improve and become better as I go. So today I celebrate. Through the testing of products and my new system, I have found that it takes exactly 17 days to receive the product, and so far I'm very pleased with the quality of the products I have selected. So as I test and practice marketing, I can go to my analytics and read reports and see what works and what does not work. In the beginning, I worked every day, night, weekends, and now I work every weekend for a few hours and some evenings after work to get used to the new system. And I am loving it. The only thing that I can compare this to is the process of having a child. Through the gestation process, birth, infancy, early childhood, and with that, I am sure you get the picture. Soon, I will have to obtain some help to improve my system in order for it to grow. And just like your child's first day of daycare, I have concerns, but I know it's the process to help me learn more and develop greater use of my systems platform. I am excited for the next phase and I hope you enjoy it also. Our products are good quality products. They are very comfortable. In the journey of e commerce, I wanted something I could be proud of. And I believe I have hit the nail right on the head. This is my journey to financial time and personal freedom. I encourage anyone that is looking to create residual income to come to Shopify to begin their own journey. Remember, you can choose your way. It is your journey. Anything worth anything worth having requires the time, energy, and effort to make it work. As dreams only work if you do. Subscribe to our email list today. Excuse me. We have shifted and we have adjusted to our new schedules, and life is going on a little differently, but we are still alive and living the best life we can live at this time. For some, the change was adjusting to a layoff, furlough, unemployment, unemployed, and or new work schedules and children homeschool schedules and childcare needs. Tough times have come and go throughout life, over time and time again, and has been documented in history as life-changing events. How do we position ourselves to be better than we are presently? Let's not make any mistakes. We aren't doing too bad. Okay, let's not make any mistakes. We aren't doing too bad, even in the midst of the epidemic that has come and soon will be gone. The real fact of the matter is that many of us are living paycheck to paycheck, and most of us don't have at least 3 months to a year saving on hand. And any loss in pay is a setback, major or minor. Not to mention the grief of calling all your bill collectors to explain your situation and estimated dates of when they can expect to see the payment. To be totally honest, some of us were already doing this process, and this just didn't help with what was happening anyway. As we all were just living life, with the exception of being asked to stay in our homes, where we secretly desire to be every day when we went to work anyway. With exceptions of those that go to work to escape home. Sometimes a parent just needs a minute or two or 8 hours. We talk about how the 4-day work week would be more productive for us in getting things done due to the fact we are some busy people moving and shaking, not making light of the epidemic or how it came, took so many lives, and shined the light on a lot of things that was already taking place in certain healthcare areas and brought about new ways and issues of business that are taking advantage of communities in this strange epidemic. The media doesn't help either with all the updates and the rising numbers of death tolls. It's, it's just enough to drive anyone mad, as if we weren't already on the edge. It kind of feels like the movie Upside Down. Good movie, by the way. Life is always filled with gifts. Some are returnable, others, well, let's say, are regiftable, and others we cherish for life. One of the gifts we can give ourselves is the gift of taking very good care of ourselves through proper nutrition, rest, physical exercise, and becoming more physically fit. How many of us will go straight to the produce aisles when entering the supermarket? Times changed how we live, some over the years, but there are those that were taught the basics of home economics 101, give or take. But home based essentials of life are skills and tools that are passed down from generation to generation. There are also some that have missed some of the basic skills of living life, home economics 101, yet manage to take care of themselves the best of their ability and for a variety of reasons for the situation. Few just don't listen and or pay attention to detail and instructions. So far, the most part, many of us know how to survive, and we are grateful, very grateful for it. Is there a way to thrive and not just survive through life? Would you be interested in knowing the steps and how, or how, would you be interested in knowing the steps and or how to of thriving, not just surviving? Many may say, I am all right and doing just fine, thank you. Others could say, what do you mean, thriving, not just surviving? They are the same thing. No matter where we may fall, we all have the ideal life we are working for, but something gets in the way or comes up unexpectedly. And it's not that we are doing bad. We are, we were, we are, but we could possibly benefit from some sort of change and or improvement in some area of our lives. Coming up, my grandmother would say, you should make it your business to learn something new every day. Words of wisdom. Guess I took it to heart, and the rest life and its graciousness bestowed upon me. Oh, along with some of my bright, not so bright decisions. I think we all have been there a time or two. Life is life is truly what we make it, even when there are not so good times. One can always find something good, even if it's the fact that you woke up this morning. Yeah, you may have woke up this morning with some decisions and choices to make, even if it was what you were going to wear today. Life can be just that simple sometimes. So why not get the best out of your life that you can while you can, as time has shown us? It waits for no one. You either go with the flow or get washed up on the beach, so to speak, as we all have a choice. As a mother of two and grandmother of soon to be five, now I have definitely had my share of ups and downs and merry-go-rounds in life. It wasn't until I had totally burnt myself out working two jobs and began having challenges that affected how I earned my income that I started to seek out other opportunities. As I sought out information, I knew that whatever I would decide on was going to have to allow me the liberty of making my own schedule, not interfere with my family time and job, as I was grateful to still have of them at least. This epidemic kind of reminds me of the suspension time I spent from work, as I had all this time and had to figure out what to do with it. After I listened to people sharing their testimonies on how online business allowed them the luxury of the choices to work and or leave their corporate America job, now that spiked some curiosity. So I reached a little more. Now as I share my story with you, I want you to keep in mind that I am working class just like you. I just wanted to share how my life turned around for the better despite the challenges I had to face along the road to get to where I am. Don't get me wrong, I still have them as they come with life experience, which means I had to look at how much money I had on hand and how much money I had to raise to begin this adventure of creating residual income. As I began to figure out how to raise the funds needed to get started, I also had to take a real look at my finances and become more in tune to what was really going on with me, with them, and me. You got it. My credit score was not where I would be considered a good credit risk to fund my new adventure, so I began to pay more attention to how I spend my money and start cutting back where I could. During this time, I am still plugged in into some informative and educational webinars, taking notes while I try to identify what my passions truly are and what value will I bring to my new adventure. The idea that you can post ads on Facebook, Instagram, on just about any social media platform and enroll the people who are interested in your products and or services through a website and get paid every week for it. An opportunity that allowed several people to walk away from corporate America. Does this sound like something you can do? I'm listening, saying, heck, heck yeah. Where do I sign? Get to the sign up page. Guess what? Remember to get those funds raised. I was close, but not quite close enough just yet. But I didn't let that stop me. I want to experience I want to experience the exchange of time now for freedom. Later it would be worth the price just to be able to earn an income on my own schedule. Heck, I tried everything else. Why not give it a shot? On my journey, I was blessed to obtain an online position, and it pays. So grateful as it helps to raise some of the funds I needed. Once I was able to invest in the business, I felt fit. My passion for the desire to help people, my partners, and I have been at it ever since. The joy it brings when someone begins to take control of their own life through the opportunities provided through home based business or an entrepreneur opportunity. Becoming an entrepreneurial business owner has been a blessing along the journey. And when the epidemic hit, it shook some things up, but we are grateful to have had the desire of wanting something more than what we had. And it's through this home based business opportunity that we are blessed to come to you, sharing information to say there is another way. Who needs you? Who needs you to fight for them, even when you don't want to? We can help others by helping one another up and create generational wealth as we move through the levels. Oh, did we fail to mention there are levels: education, honor awards, events, earnings in the home based business. If this opportunity is of further interest to you, please provide your full name, telephone number, and email. Best time to reach you. We will send you a link. First, a one on one interview, as everyone may not be a fit for the business. Second, an invite to an overview where you will get all the information you will need on how to get started. So, yes, we are in the midst of an epidemic. Just don't let it get the best of you, as you will show 2020 and the epidemic your best and make it your epic year yet. Please be safe, stay home, and those who have to go out on the front lines every day or on a rotating schedule, we pray for good health to shield and protect you from this epidemic as you go about your business protecting, serving, and saving lives. Know that you are appreciated and loved by many. Now, don't forget, if this information is of further interest, someone will reach out to you for information and or help you sign up today. My partners and I are looking forward to meeting you and welcoming you aboard. Be safe. Thank you for your time. Reading our blogs. You rock. Always. Tia R., founder of Tammy's Market. Don't you just love the universe? Just to think that we come from some of the elements of the universe, which are hydrogen, helium, oxygen, carbon, neon, neon, nitrogen, and magnesium, silicone, of just to name a few. The universe provides all that we have and need, and yet somehow we forget that they are vital to our being. In the previous blog post, I talked about letting it all go, which I discussed the components where in the areas of one's health and wellness, finances, and relationships. And when we speak about relationships, they fall into categories which are spiritual, family, romantic, colleagues, co-workers, and your community. Most of how we perceive life in our mind in these areas can determine how we create and produce a life we most times can only imagine and or do what needs to be done to make it so. After taking a good look at all the areas and being honest and real with oneself, can you begin to make life alterations? For me, having a spiritual base is very important and has proven time after time to work for me in getting through some of life's everlasting changes that helped me be here today. My father would say, if a person can believe in Jesus Christ, Allah, whomever, or whatever, as long as they are creating a better version of themselves, roll with it. I have found that even faith takes steps and practice to see results. After closely looking at the categories and taking the steps I needed to do, in order for me to move forward, I realized that every step I have made so far has been the right choice for me and improving in the categories to move forward. Start a new way of life in every aspect. It doesn't mean I don't struggle with life from time to time. It just means that I am getting better at handling things that may come. Along this journey, I have joined a few communities, groups, and I must say, most are really good groups of people to not see them in person. I took a course with my econ club, and it helped me to grasp some things that I was missing and also helped me to develop a plan of action through decisions with my coach as far as the steps to move forward. After writing my review, I received a few inquiries that I like to share with you. KY wrote, I saw your review. For whatever reason, I chose your feedback to read, then went to your store and profile. I was just getting started with this new adventure, was extremely excited, then got to step 6, where they asked for a couple of $1,000 before moving forward. I've been scammed so many times. I really am trying to be smarter than just handing over the money. Plus, I am a single mom and honestly do not have the funds and would have to apply for a high interest rate loan to get the funds, which is so scary. Then I saw the travel business message. That's when I knew why God had me to choose your feedback out of all the others. So when you have so when you have some time, if you don't mind, I would like your honest opinion on both. LA wrote, "Hello, I'm also with Ecom, and I was just wondering if it's worth buying a package and if you're making sales." And Y wrote, "Hi, I just started my Econ club yesterday. I do have some doubt, but I was wondering if you could clear them up for me. Everyone always says that these things are scams and they won't work, or that you cannot get your money back. I would just like to know how it was for you when you started, since you seem like a successful person from this. I thought it would be more accurate to ask you. I wanted to state I wanted to state that in no way do I work for my econ club. I am there for the same reasons many of you are. However, one must keep in mind that it is a business and they offer you the tools and or knowledge how to help us get started in this journey. Each one of our journeys will be different based off of how we choose to go about getting our businesses up and running. You can pay for their services if you have the cash and would like to save some time on creating a store or two, but it will still require you to do the work involved to run and learn your business and efforts of success. As I have stated in my review, I chose to build my business myself, and they let me know that I was right on track in the development of my business. I have responded to each individual that has reached out to me, and I shared my experience of my journey, some more detailed than others, but the same information. I would not recommend that anyone start out as I have with very low to no money, but it would be the individual's decision to do so, as there are other items needed to have a legal business in your states and counties, as each has different requirements. All I can say is that since I have started this journey, I am doing what needs to be done to make it work. I am pleased to say that it's working. The process is working. I am enjoying my new adventures, and I hope that those who have reached out to me are enjoying theirs also. It can be scary starting your own business, but I am learning to allow the process to be the process, even in my fears. Do I get frustrated and discouraged at times? Yes. I believe that's what makes us all human. No one can guarantee your success as it is based off of how you utilize the information given and what you do to make it work. That will make all the difference in the outcome in any business. That's why it's very important to continue to grow your mind and keep one's mindset in a positive, motivate place because fear and doubt are there to either dim your light or make it brighter. It will it all depends on the steps you take to get through those false feelings and thoughts. I know it's something we hear in this platform communities a lot because it is true. As life is going to happen and it takes dedication and commitment to stick with it, even when you may not feel like it. When the process is slow but going on, it's also okay to stop and take a break once in a while, as you will need it from all the information you will learn. And if you get caught up in the glitter like I have shared, take a step back and take time to get clear on which direction you're going to go first and foremost. Self care and getting a handle on your money is important, and so are the relationships that you're surrounding yourself with in this journey. You have to also remember that everyone is not going to understand or care about your vision as God only gave it to you, and you are the one to make it come to life. Then go right back at it with a clear plan mapped out on how you're going to achieve and or surpass if your plan isn't clear. Go at it until it does become clear. The platform and its advisors will provide you with a blueprint as to the steps and how they made it to where they are, and you just have to follow the instructions they provide and practice them as you go. What is the parable? Give a man woman a fish and he she will eat for a day. Teach them how to fish and they will eat forever. Sometimes we have to put on our rose lens glasses and change some of our mindsets, behaviors, and habits to move in a direction of making life better. Now, this is the perfect example of people's brain story. We all are different and unique, and our businesses will reflect that as we continue. Are you thinking of, or are you just starting a new business? How did these inquiries resonate with you, and can you relate to what it may feel like? What steps what steps are you taking, and how do you feel about taking those steps? I am grateful to those who have seen something I may have done and reached out. It's a reminder that it's so not about me and that serving others provides gifts to let us know that we are not alone and we can help one another, even if it's just sharing your experience. Wherever you are at, change is never going change is never going to be easy, but it sure is always going to be worth it. My story. At the peak of my life, the children are finally grown and living on their own. While working my job, I found purpose in helping others help themselves and change their life, which is the greatest feeling to all who play a role in their achieving their life goals and maintaining them. Working toward a common goal that will make individuals and families better. Working through no wage increases for 4 years, furlough days, family issues, the loss of my parents. The icing on the cake was the working two full time jobs, working out the financial issues of bankruptcy, still handling unfinished issues and concerns of my mother's death, and paying the consequences of breaking company policies on days given, earned for the year. All I was thinking is, God, there has got to be a better way. How can I take care of my family and earn money and not worry if I will lose my source of income. I felt like I just couldn't live life that I felt like I just couldn't live life this anymore. And I began to take my home based business search more seriously. No longer was I a tourist. Now I was thinking permanent residency and started investing in myself first. It was a free webinar here, a paid mini course there. Next thing I knew, I had invested in myself at the level I was at. And from there, I have been building and investing in my business ever since. But somehow, what I had was always enough to make do. You may get the impression that I may have settled at certain points in my life. And that's cool, as everyone is entitled to their perspective. However, it's my life that has taught me the power of putting myself in someone else's shoes to obtain a greater understanding of where they were coming from. No, I am not powerful enough to understand where every person was coming from, nor did I grasp the power to be able to put myself in every person's shoes. But I have the power to understand the difference and when to say I am unable to help you because I don't know, and provide a resource or two that may be able to. That's powerful in itself alone. As long as you can suggest someone who may be able to help where you cannot. Out of all the years of helping others, I realized that my greatest challenge was helping myself. Over time in my life, I have periods where I struggled with being enough to do what I need to do to create the life I desire. I faced many challenges and I have overcome many of them basically by deciding that I was not going to allow it to take me over because at any moment I can change it by changing what I do and how I do it. Yes, the journey from 2004 through 2018 were life changing experiences. And from 2019 to the present, all I can say is wow, what a way to work through the growing pains of life. All from making the decision that I was going to bet on me, never give up until I achieved what I decided to achieve. I worked long hours on my business as well as continued to work my job to get where I am today. And let me tell you, it is one of the best feelings. Not because it's easy, but because it was the hardest thing I have ever done in my life to bet on me. Facing life challenges and and gaining gaining the endurance to get through them no matter what. Many have told me they don't have time with all they have to do. And I say I have nothing but time to do what I have to do. However, I know that I know the importance of being ready to be uncomfortable and do it anyway. I also know that I did not get where I am today by myself, as there are many that have helped me along the way, for for them I am grateful. I know that although I have come a long way, I know that there are miles to go, and I'm ready to explore all the new adventures life has to offer. So as I embark on to 2021, I have mapped out my plan as we move forward. Yes, I will be investing more into myself and my business, aligning with what is needed in order for me to experience this roller coaster ride that I have created. 2020 was one heck of a year. We faced many challenges and we still are. However, I now have tools to navigate my life as well as I can share them with others to do the same for their own lives, but only when they're ready. It's mind blowing that I work and still was able to create another source of income through a home based business opportunity. This opportunity makes all coming life experiences a win win situation. It's fair to say that anything is possible once you decide what it is that you want for your life and what you desire to have out of life, and you're willing to do what it takes to get there. When you're ready, my mission is to help as many individuals and families do the same. Am I in my own way? This is a question we all ask ourselves from time to time, months, I mean, from time to time, moments throughout our lives. Many times throughout our lives, we face many challenges, some big, some small, some not so much. Yet we tend to feel stagnated, frustrated, empty, alone, afraid, and a list of other emotions that will not serve us for the good. Do you ever find yourself in a rut, feeling feeling type feeling some type of way? Do you ever find that you know you have to make a choice and or take action but not sure which choice and or action to take? Have you ever felt like something in your life has to change so that these so that things can improve? Well, one thing, the questions may be different, but most of us feel or have these feelings from time to time in our life. The commitment to change isn't one that is taken lightly. Oftentimes, we will think of all the things we have to give up and or lose just to start moving toward change. And that's a fear in itself. Choosing to commit to bring change into one's life can be filled with many doubts of the unknown, and that's okay. I guess as is part of the process. Have you ever gone through something, say caring for a loved one, and not knowing how it will all pan out, but you do it anyway, the best of your ability? Well, I am pretty sure the process is the same when deciding to take control of your own life and dreams. That feeling of not knowing how to exactly bring it into manifestation can be the most trying and conflicting time in one's life, as well as the most stressful. When we look at our lives, most think this is not a bad deal. It's pretty good. Yet we still long for something more to define ourselves or feel like there just has to be more to life. I ha- I have had this feeling a few times myself, so I can definitely relate. Questions like how do I earn money and keep it? Do I stay in this relationship and or marriage? How do I kick this habit? How do I kick this habit or substance? Procrastination, negative thoughts and attitude. Am I a good parent, a role model for my children? What will happen when I'm gone? How do I create enough money to just live comfortable? Do I stay at this job? Do I get another job to make things better? How can I give back to the community and or world? Does my life truly have a meaning, rhyme, and or purpose of being? One can reflect and take inventory of what they have and feel grateful and yet still feel a longing of something unknown to the person or people. For the minority of us, financial stress is linked to much of your doubt. mu- yeah, much of your doubt we feel in our lives. Not that money is everything, especially when you learn how paper and coin money will someday become absolute. Absolute. Now, if that line doesn't create some form of fear and or anxiety about our futures, now calm down. I'm sure that there will always be a form of currency to navigate through life. I only provided that example just to get your attention as we continue to evolve throughout life. Things that once are slowly becoming no more. yet we are thriving and serving in this life. We all know that money and wealth isn't everything, or at least that's been the experience as many with wealth have committed suicide or just live very unhappy lives. Why is that? Could it be that there is more to the story of wealth? When most of us picture wealth, we see material things and all the access that money can bring. And it's not a bad deal. But what if there is more to life than just cash, material things, and so forth? That could only mean that it has to be more than what is seen on the physical plane. But how can this be so? As we look at the gospel, Jesus did a many great things, and nowhere do I recall money or means of payment was ever brought up. Yes, I believe I may have read about a few animal sacrifices and burning bushes, but not really currency mentioned in his walk on this earth. I mostly read how Jesus touched people and gave them something greater than themselves in order to get through all the trials and tribulations that came their way. Oh, he even healed a few from illnesses and diseases. Still no mention of currency, although he paid the ultimate price for ever being on earth. If I if I have read the book right. Many of us ponder the written word and the relationship that one is to establish with Jesus in order to have the permission of everlasting life. Many questions, many questions, the written word and the personal relationship based on the circumstances and or moment that may be occurring at the time. Yet life continues on. We do our best to live God like, or we will say, what would Jesus do? Many households have spiritual religious upbringing, however culturally diverse they may be overall. It would be safe to state that across the world both play a role in our lives. You could say that everyone's understanding is just as diverse and no one is wrong as they will draw from their own family traditions, practice, life experience, and perception on whatever the topic may be leading to. Jesus called by many names all over the world. Many of us, as a child, well into junior high school age, can remember listening to Louise Williams, pastor and radio host, every morning, live talk show host, Mary Mason, morning inspirations, and world talk radio shows. Wow, that takes some of us back. The rest will be Googling their names later. However, we all have conscious mindsets of the relationship of a mindset of relationship or non-relationship with having a higher power. Now, some can debate the success in life can have the variables of social class status, economic status, race and gender, along with environmental and educational level, just to name a few of the variables can change as it may apply to the perspective of the individual and or group of people. The social world order is the social world order is a variable that fluctuates as well that depends on which end of the spectrum you're on as well as the position on the list of the world order policies, safety of constituents and overall world. Even with all these variables, whether right or wrong, it can be debated. Some may feel that some other variables, such as will and determination, courage, consistency, and commitment, can increase the success ratio in an individual and or group of people. This too can be debated, but not for long. The combination interacts and plays its part in every aspect of our lives at any given time and can be viewed in a very diverse way. Now, the funny thing is that when you really begin to think about it, none of this really matters. Matters in the sense that as we live and grow older, the only thing that is going to become important is the life you live and those who love you along with the amazing experience you are having. Living day by day is the key and knows that whenever you put it into life, put in living day by day is the key and knows that whatever you put into life, you are sure to get out of life. What would stop someone from living the life that they want to live? Is it their faith, social class, gender, culture, systematic social system, will and determination, commitment, consistency? What is it? Is it how we go about taking the actions needed, or is it a block of some sort? When life serves you lemons, what do? Make the best lemonade the world has ever tasted. Most of us have done what is required to quote obtain the American dream. Most have gotten an education and are working in a career and or job which provides an income. Some haven't completed their education but still have managed to create and or obtain a source of income to provide for them and their families. However, with many careers and jobs downsizing, layoffs, and the current situation of interruptions of income throughout through shutdowns and mandatory furloughs can create a great financial strain on most families. As for today, many are living paycheck to paycheck with very little left to create savings. Today, missing one paycheck can cause a down spiral toward homelessness, hunger, and more. These types of stress can affect the human body in a variety of ways. One will either get innovative or suffer effects of crisis from their circumstances. In the science of human development that seeks to understand how and why people of all ages and circumstances change or remain the same over time. Human development mentalists categorize the growth as multi-directional, multidisciplinary, and multi-contextual and placid, constructed through constructed through biology, culture, and individual factors working together. Although human develop, Although human developmentalists have tested and proven these facts to be true, I believe it lacks the spiritual concepts that also can contribute to one's development as well. Deciding to get involved with Shopify platform, I can honestly say it was from the survival concept for me, as I have done everything else and suffered financial loss, but I never really thought about creating something of my own until I was faced with circumstances that were beyond my control and I had to figure something out. I am glad that I had taken the time to research different e-commerce platforms prior to choosing Shopify prov- as my research provided me a better understanding of what I was planning to create. However, I didn't understand it all, nor did I have a plan. Choosing the Shopify platform provided me with a way to create a business that allowed me to create something I could be proud of and earn income while I still work my job. In building this platform in hopes to grow wealth or residual income, it required more study and experimentation with its easy design system. My first apps that I uploaded was Oberlo and Modulus, and I just started working with AliExpress. These apps were easy to install into my shop with an easy 1-2 click installation. I enjoy researching products through these apps, and the products are good quality. However, their delivery times can vary. This lovely pocket dress is one of my AliExpress pocket products. It took 12 days for this dress to arrive from the date of order. This lovely dress is a cotton blend mix and is moved and is very soft to the skin. Easy on, easy off, moves when you move, and is comfortable and stylish. You can wear it to work or for play. Since I have began building my e-commerce business, I am finding that things change very rapidly, and sometimes it feels like it's hard to keep up. So I try, but I don't focus on it too much as I am aware I am a newbie and I have to learn my systems. Yes, testing products, researching products doesn't sound very interesting, but believe me, it is, or at least it can be. Mindset. I am pleased to say that my e commerce experience is no longer in survivor's mode. It has since become a pleasurable hobby. I am finding that one's mindset is definitely the key to one's success. Going back to the science human development in the categories I listed above surely plays a huge part, as well as the spiritual side I mentioned. Starting out wasn't easy, nor did I have a lot of support in the beginning, but somehow I made it to this point. I contribute that to my faith, belief, hard work, and commitment that anything is possible when you put God first. Many days I feel alone and misunderstood by family and friends. I knew they loved me and wanted the best, but the fact is that many don't trust and or really understand the e-commerce platform, and the ones who do are excelling and meeting their goals. I faced many challenges and was exposed to what I like to call naysayers. I would hear things like, this is a pyramid scheme. They're going to just take your money. You need to find a more solid business to start your name to start. You name it, I heard it. But as time went on and I worked day and night, night and day after day, then the noise was different. The noise became, you're always on your computer. You never have time for us anymore. All you talk about is the store. You need to take a break and live sometimes. Well, I am proud to say that now I have a virtual employee that helps me with marketing and ads for my store through the app named Kit. I have added I have added Get Clicked SEO to help me with the optimization and product descriptions, Cross Sell by Zoomy to help me customize and create sales for products and options, just to name a few. These apps are helping me to stitch the fabric of my business together so that I can have the time flexibility my family and friends have been asking of me. Here is an overload product, the 96 sewing accessory, a must have for every one of those oh boy, did I do that moments, or if you simply enjoy sewing and creating new things. Photo not shown, guys. That product was sold out. Easy, crazy zipper case filled with everything you may need for those unexpected and expected project moments. As I became more familiar with my system and how it works and the many things I can create with it, I started to think about what I really wanted to do. Where do I want to go? And how can this benefit myself and many others through my efforts with this system and the platform? It's very scary when you begin to look beyond just yourself and begin to think about may how my effort can not only improve my life but the lives of many others. And mindset is the key. As I pray moving forward, I am finding that I also have to be patient and do more research as to where I will be most effective in the lives of people in my community and surrounding areas. The experience is stretching me beyond my wildest imagination. I understand even more so that this whole experience in business is much bigger than me. However, it all begins with me, my experience, my vision. Whereas, if I can make a difference in my own life, how whereas if I can make a difference in my own life, how will I even begin to help others? The bigger picture is coming, slowly but surely coming together. I've realized that I have to work on me continually, mind, body, and soul, or spirit, mind, body, and heart, in order for the best results to come to the forefront. Shopify has created a system that will help me do just as I desire once I have mapped it all out. I know you're probably tired of reading about me, but I can't write about you because I don't know you or your experience or your circumstances that brought you where you are. But I would love to hear from you if you care to share comment below. Coming into e commerce and the Shopify platform has changed my life in just 1 year. So just imagine where 3 years or more, what 3 years or more can do, not just for me, but for those I am asking guidance for and efforts to help bring about change if they want it. Because I can want to change the world, but if the world doesn't want to change for themselves, product and or services being offered to them, it won't make much of a difference. Not now, will it? With the knowledge that only the individuals themselves can take the steps needed to change their own personal development and growth in life, which is going to happen whether we participate or not. The difference is those who do can work together and better create a much better place. Subscribe to our email today. When you first start out, it's work. Parenting phases, there's gestation through birth. There's newborn to 18 months equaling 2 years, 3 years of age to 10 years of age, 11 years of age to 18 years of age, 19 years of age to 26 years of age, 27 years of age to 37 years of age, 38 years of age to 48 years of age, 49 years of age to 59 years of age, 60 years of age to 70 years of age. Children develop skills in five main areas of development: cognitive development, social and emotional development, speech and language development, fine motor skills, gross motor skills, all of which are measured in milestones for the child to achieve by a certain age. Do you know what age? Place the letter of the age years next to the development areas in the comments box. Please keep in mind that every child develops in their own time, and the milestone measurement is a gauge for parents, doctors, and educators to see where the child may fall in development areas. Now we have the baby. And where are you currently in the scheme of life? Single, married, divorced, college degree, high school diploma, no schooling or very little. What age are you? And are you prepared to raise a family? Ready or not, here life comes. Life example. A single parent high school education and wishes to a single parent high school education and wishes to pursue a college education and or trade. Lives home with parents, no car, uses public transportation and earns less than 20,000 annually. Wishes to be able to rent her first apartment. B. Married, parents, educated, own their home worth 90,000 to 100,000, mortgage annually, income 120,000. Spouse was laid off from their job. The only They only have the health coverage of one spouse with co-payments, two car notes, a mortgage, credit cards, and student loans. and another child on the way. Life happens on life terms. Example A is just starting out with very little. What would you suggest for A to reach their desired goal? And for B, what would you suggest for their current situation? Comment your answers below in the comment box. There are many lives. There are many lives on life term situations in life, but how we handle them will make all the difference and will be as unique as each individual as life can hold many rejections, and most times from those we least expected. But how do we deal with them and continue moving forward? What life on life terms have you dealt with as a parent? Do you find parenting difficult, easy, or the same during a situation or circumstances? And how might you have handled it differently if given the opportunity? Do you have a desired goal, idea, vision, and or dream that you wish to achieve? What steps have you taken to start? How do you handle roadblocks, rejection, the no's along the way? Do you avoid and or procrastinate doing the work required to achieve your goal? If so, do your children have some of the same traits you have in meeting their achievements? Yes or no? Feel free to explain your answers in the comment box. Being a parent of two myself, I know the meaning of work and work some more. So doing what I do is just as challenging as when I was rearing my children, as children don't always do what we tell them or expect them to do at a time throughout their life. Being a parent to me is just like being an entrepreneur, as someone has to create the path for the younger generation. And many times during the parenting process, you as a parent are responsible for the safety, caring, providing, educating, and showing the children how to first control themselves so they can then deal with others. But the grace of God and a support system like family and close friends can add as well. Yes, sometimes life isn't always that easy. It has disrespect, dishonesty, times of no loyalty, no morals, values, traumatic moments, confusion, jealousy, anger, denial, loss of self, family and friends, as sometimes you just might outgrow people, places, and things. Doesn't mean you don't love or care for them. It just means that your quality of life benefit more from the distance, which allows everyone to grow in their own way. There is no cookie cutter way to get through this thing called life, especially as a parent with all that is going on in the world. But you have something that nobody else has in this world, and only you can bring it out. So never ever be ashamed or embarrassed about anything that life has thrown at you as you're still standing and able. When you're blessed with each day to be better than you were the day before, okay, we get it. Everyone can benefit from some improvements here and there. And as long as you put forth effort to ensure those improvements happen over time, it doesn't matter how you start out as long as you start somewhere. Here's a sample outline plan: income, trust fund, employment, sponsor, public assistance, checking, savings, investment funds, fees and service charges, live, living quarters, rent, rent to buy or own, subsidized or non subsidized, fixed rate or annual percentage rate, how many bedrooms and bathrooms needed for the family, a yard and or porch, Is there an association fee or application fee to apply? Is it a good location, gated community, gated community or non-gated community? Are schools in the area or close approximately? Is it any public and or school transportation provided and or nearby within 1 mile radius? Month by month budget and be realistic and specify. Adjust a few times in each month income expenses. Investments into yourself, i.e., school, trade, employment, and or business. How much time will it take to accomplish your desired goal? 1 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years, or more? Remember to make a list of short and long term goals. This makes it easier to break down and accomplish. Prepare, plan to pay back what's owed if any debt has occurred and or been acquired. Write your start date. Every day is a day to be thankful. Why, you say? Today and every day we wake up is truly the most precious gift one can be grateful for. Most and or even all beings. Simply put, each day is a new day we have never seen. A new day to produce something good and nourishing out of every day. Now, every day is not going to be good and or productive, yet it can be an amazing day depending on how you perceive it from your perspective of half full or half empty mindset. There are so many things to be thankful for, and as we go along throughout the journey, just to have the ability to breathe is truly a blessing. So either each new day with faith. So enter each new day with faith, hope, and love for that day and create something you can be proud of. To say, yes, I made a difference in the world today, even if the difference was within me. A bonus is being able to help someone else too. Along the journey, you meet all sorts of people that you can learn with and from. Share life experiences, lessons, encourage achievements, strengths, and weaknesses, as well as be there and not only as well as be there and not only highs of time, but share in the lows with as well, grow together and sometimes apart. Yet their place in the journey is as amazing as life itself. As we lift one another up, each one teaches one, is what they say as we grow toward the betterment of the whole. When Tia began this journey, she was in a very confused, hurt, and discouraging place. However, through the desire for change in every area of her life, led her right here, for which she is very grateful. There are so many individuals that have helped her along the way, and for that she is grateful. Some may know her personally or through interaction, and some she has yet to meet, but she follows every YouTube video they make and have been for a long period of time now. Their words touched something deep within her that made her say to herself, go for it. What do you have to lose? She is grateful to have followed the voice from deep within that motivated her to do what she had to do to be where she desires to be. Is she there yet? No. She has a long way to go. However, the joy and pain of the journey is more than she could have imagined. Every step, every move develops something new and has grown to more over time. In the midst of her gathering of information and investing in things needed to begin the journey in every area of her life, she had to learn some things along the way. As she put more and more of herself into what she was doing, she realized that something was different. As we all know, time waits for no one. So we are growing and building. So was everything and everyone around us. Working on growth plan, working our growth plan was now just something that we do in rhythm and rhyme of the life we live. You begin to appreciate the time spent with those closest to you, realizing that we are on a new life journey and it's perfectly okay to take the time to smell the flowers. As life is short and can feel long, and you want to get the most out of it, where you will slide in the transition of infinity to become part of the greatest team of guardian angels for those who will be left behind, just as the guardian angels that have gone before you and keep you going, not to stray, but live in your purpose and hopefully share it with others. And if you're creative enough, possibly the world. Still on the growth path, as learning is never over. Yet now we find ourselves in a place of peace and happiness. However, we are not who we were. Yet who we are today has hints of her days before. She seeks to create a new life, a new way, not just for herself, but unknowingly for her family and those around her. All have grown and are starting anew. What a joyous feeling to see that over time your growth begins to bud and produce beautiful things. Completion, graduation, marriage, new homes, new authors, new singers, new births, new careers, new artists, new poets, and so much more is going on right in the midst of what some would call the worst times of our lives. Yet the best times of our lives, simply amazing. As we continue to grow and start clearing some things that need to go, hold on to what is dear and replace with the new that fit her new life and new hopes of an even greater tomorrow. If blessed to wake and see it, we are thankful for the lessons learned along the way. And the most valuable lessons of them all is that you can heal where you were broken by starting with you, and the other changes will follow. Create the environment you wish to live and grow in, and never ever allow anyone or anything disrupt it, never ever again. As you only get one life and only you can live it, only you can correct what's wrong, and only you have the power to do what's right to ensure that you will have the best life you can possibly have. Realize that everything isn't always black and white. Sometimes it's yellow, gray, white, geometric, and more. There are so many views and perspectives in this world. Find the one that defines you and go with it and see just how far it can take you. You may not be ready today, right now, this moment, but one day you will make the choice to choose you over everything and make the best you that you can be. No worries of those who don't get you. Care care on the ones who do. One day at a time, one task or assignment at a time. As this as that is all we can do with each 24 hours of every passing day. We are on a mission. As we are helping ourselves, we like to help one individual and one family at a time. As we deal with real life family dynamics, we wish to help others through financial education, health, wellness, travel, clothing, home goods, and more. The journey the journey has served us well and continues to do so as we grow. We are able to help others in their mission as well. Since the COVID-19, our business has helped organizations within the city of Camden, the hometown of the founder, Tia Rodgers, to help them help others And we like to thank those organizations for doing what they do for the residents of the city of Camden. To donate, we have donated funds in honor of our mother, Christine Edwards Rogers, Tammy's Market, Who You With LLC, Real Family Dynamics, and Walk and Talk and Wellness, to Parkside Business Community and Partnership, Camden Lutheran Housing, the Neighborhood Center, Volunteers of America, St. Joseph's Carpenter Society, Dare to Care Mentor Program, and we hope to be able to help more as we get through this current world crisis together. Starting at home first. It was much it wasn't much, but every little bit helps. The way we see it is that if home is not right, neither is anything else going to be right in life. So we chose so we choose to start at home and helping where God has provided blessings to share with others during this time. We thank everyone that has supported us and has purchased our products and or services, as we could not do this without you. And for that we say thank you from our hearts. Should you desire to contribute to these organizations personally, feel free, as I am sure every little bit will go a long way and make a difference in the lives of the residents of Camden City. And we thank you in advance for your acts of kindness. Along the journey, you can feel lost, confused, and unguided. But if you just have faith of that mustard seed and keep going, you too will find that taking that extra lap, push up, crunch, sit up will make all the difference in the long run of things to come. No, we haven't changed much, but we have changed a lot and hope to share the change with those who are interested. Yes, we are doing it, scared and afraid, as change is always easy. Oh, as change isn't always easy, welcome and or warranted. Welcome and or wanted by most, but then there's that one ordinary individual that is ready for change and is willing to do some extraordinary things to make change manifest in them and around them that will affect others as they grow. We may not know where we are headed, but we have the faith to know that God is going to go before us and clear the path, put things in place for us to do what is the divine process for us to do. And we are going forward in peace and blessings that all will be done by His divine will, our work and efforts. We thank you for taking the time to visit our platform, shopping with us, and reading our blogs. Thank you for being a part of our journey. Sincerely, Tia Rodgers, founder of Tammy's Market. Desire is the starting point of all achievements, part two. How many prior to becoming a parent even thought of or even considered what it would cost to be a parent? According to the Department of Agriculture, raising one child from birth to college age cost an average of 241,080 in 2020 in 2012. How many prior to becoming a parent were or are working and or in school or both? Families and unemployment. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics in 2019, 4.9% of families included an unemployed person, down from 5.2% in 2018. The nation's 82.6 million families, 81.1%, had at least one employed member in 2019. 3.9% of married couple families, 7.8% and 7.6% families maintained by men and women, 53.7% families maintained by women, 61.4% maintained by men and married couple families, 61.4% and 82.1% men married couple families, families and employment. In 2019, 81.1% of families had at least one employed family member, up from the prior year 80.8%. From 2018 to 2010, the likelihood of having an employed family member increased. White, 80.6%, Black, 80.0%, Hispanic, 88.3%, Asians, 88.4%. Families maintained by women remain less likely to have an employed member, 78.5% in 2019. Families maintained by men, 85.5%. Married couple families, 81.2%. Among married couple families, both the husband and wife were employed, 49.9% of families. 18.5% married couple families, only the husband was employed. 6.8%, only the wife was employed. Families with children. In 2019, 33.4 million families, or two-fifths of all families, included children under the age of 18. Children are defined as sons, daughters, stepchildren, or adopted children living in the household who are under the age of 18. At least at least one parent was employed in, in 91.3% of families with children, with an increase of 0.5% point from the previous year. Married couples, families with children, 97.5% had at least one employed parent in 2019. 64.2% had both parents employed. 85.2% were maintained by employed fathers. 75.4% were maintained by employed mothers. What does all this have to do with parenting, you might ask? According to according to an article in the New York Times, reads in the United States, a new analysis of 4 decades of birth show the age that women become mothers vary significantly by geography and education. Children are born into very different family lives, heading for diverging economic futures. First time mothers are older in big cities and on the coast, and younger in rural areas and in the Great Plains of the South. Average ages are 31 and 32. Average ages are 20 and 21. On average, women with college degrees have children on average of 7 years later than those without, and often use the years to finish school, build their careers and income. The gap, the age gap for this first time mothers has narrowed a bit in recent years, driven largely by fewer teenage births. So which age group parents are you? 20 to 21, minimal education or college education. 31 to 32, minimal education or college education. 12 to 18, minimal education or college education. None of the above. Is there a difference in becoming a parent as a young adult versus being an adult parent? How does the way we were parented affect how we parent or parent our children? At what point in parenting was it difficult and or become challenging? How often do we see ourselves in our children? What are some of the factors that can affect how well one is able how well one is able to parent but can differ depending on the individual? Age, education, income, dating, single, married, divorced, co-parenting, daily living activities. One's idea of life and what it means to them and their future ideas of what life would be for them. Many variables can be part of parenting, relational problems, whether it be mental or a general medical condition. Then there is the parent child relational, parent relations, sibling relations, and just relation problems across the scope of parenting and rearing and reared, reared reared affect can have affected us knowing or unknowingly. As we as we bring us as we bring us with us everywhere we go, right? And any relationship we form in life, we are who we are. Will always show. In any relationship we form in life, who we are will always show. Sorry. So, as the parenting begins, just as children grow in phases and stages, so do we as parents. Younger parents may feel they have the better side because they get to grow with their children as they grow, because growth is evolution. More major more major parents may feel they have the better side. No, more mature parents may feel they have the better side because they get they get to not only grow as their children grow, but they get to add life adventures and experiences that a younger parent may not have the privilege to do until much later due to the difference we mentioned previously. Neither side is wrong or right, as we can only share from pers- from the spectrum in which we have or may be experienced and or experiencing. Every family and every individual as diverse and unique in their own right, as God created us in that way. So to say we can solve all parenting ills, no, we can't. But can we try to prevent the self sabotaging behaviors that lead to the separation and sometimes the destruction of families? I believe we can. However, it will require each and every individual to take responsibility in their own rescue. However, excuse me, taking responsibility isn't always easy nor comfortable, because once we can admit that we aren't perfect and could possibly benefit from some changes that will possibly add to our quality of life, and knowing that it will take some real soul searching and being honest with where you are and what steps taken got you there, as well as have the tools and skills to apply the energy in identifying what one will have to do to begin the process. When we first start out doing anything that will benefit our lives in a positive or negative, it's going to be work involved and lots of it. However, when we choose the positive, not only is it work, but the rewards are even more greater, because as we take every step towards something new or making changes in our lives, it's hard at first but gets better and more. And the more we practice and discipline ourselves to move closer to that which we plan to achieve. And sometimes if you haven't planned, God has a way of smiling on you to get you started on planning by blessing the steps we were willing to make, despite the fact we had no one single plan at all except to wake up each day. Well, now is that not just the grandest thing? When it comes down to us creating another life, when it comes down to us, let me see, no, never mind. Okay, sorry. When it comes down to us creating another life, being being one that did not request to be present in our world, one that had no choice in who would be their parents, nor what circumstances and or situation they would be born in. All that is the parents, the individual human being parents, and wherever we are at the time in our lives when conception of another life takes root. That's when life begins, and ready or not, we have to deal together or apart. We hope for the lateral end of the spectrum, but should it go left, then we must develop another plan just that simple or not dependent on the circumstances or situation. However, a child will and or is going to be born, if not born already. We have we have to be parents. And parenting is a 20 is work. And parenting is work 24/7. And it's best to attempt to have some sort of plan than none at all. But if we don't, more experienced parents love to share our experiences. As you speak with other parents and share parenting tips, styles, now everything may not be for you and your child, and some things you can take and make them fit and work for you in parenting. But it's really no special recipe except the basic standards that will never change, no matter how different we attempt to parent, different from our own parents, which is respect for our elders, speak when you enter a room, speak when spoken to, and obey thy mother and thy father. Authority figures. Others may have others, but you get what is meant by the basics of parenting of every successful child to date, as it can take you much further than disrespect of all the basics of life. This can and has been debated. However, respect always is the key to life by first respecting ourselves first, whether you have the income required or not to be a parent. Many have made it, and you will too. There are a number of parents that have been where you are and are willing to share with you some of the ways they made it through. I have shared my story many times than I care to say, but if my story helps the next young parent, I will gladly tell it again and again. Parenting has two sides, the mother and the father, both equally important to a child's growth and development. When the two work in harmony toward the betterment of the family as a whole, it benefits every member. However, should a family find the challenge in doing the parenting together and decide to co parent, it should be done with the children in mind, not the parents' desires or issues. To control one another's lives that will affect their parenting as the children are watching how you're interacting with one another, and we wish to provide the children with the best picture of life, but sometimes that's easier said than done in some cases, and it it may require some legal assistance in the parenting process. Other parenting challenges may be the difference from a 2,757 income versus a $118,400 income bracket. So, depending where we may fall in the income bracket, will either motivate us to improve and or go for more, or to become complacent where we are and just coast through life filled with frustration, fear, embarrassment, shame. One could suppose. I say that I say that wherever you may be, you can be the difference that you wish to see. If you have a decision to achieve greater out of life, you're willing to commit to the work required for you to achieve the said desire you're aiming to achieve, and you set your mind to work toward that achievement, you're more times than likely to achieve whatever it is you desire. The difference to be in your life, and that will not only benefit you as an individual, but it will also inter affect your children as they are watching and see our every move, whether you wish to believe it or not. It's very true. They are. So, whether you need to apply for a school or trade. Take a few more courses to complete that degree. Find your ideal job, career, or business. Build it as you parent. Is it going to be easy? Heck to the nah. But will it be worth it? Heck yeah. Get the apartment or house. How many steps are you away from achieving it? And what are your challenges to get it? Not enough work history, no financial history, or score a poor to fair financial history, or simply not enough deposit. So, what are the steps you need to take to achieve the apartment or house? If you are a caregiver of a loved one, many times caring for a loved one and having the responsibility of parenting has its own unique challenges with variables to consider. Like, if the loved one can care for themselves, or do they need you and the family to help with their care? Will your loved one live in their own home or live with you and your family? Are you the primary caregiver, just helping out, or active participant for your loved one? Many times we tend to get so caught up in our own lives that sometimes we can miss the signs that our loved ones may be in a distressing and or crisis moment in their life that could possibly change their lives forever in yours. As we are brothers and sisters keepers, right? As we are our brothers and sisters keepers, right? Three free from gold, now parenting, building a better quality of life, caring for a loved one, and still building. Well, now that just means that you're definitely made of something else, my friend. To navigate through your desired quality, to navigate through your desired quality of better, facing many different challenges, some all at the same dang time, and yet you're still thriving for the better in you, in life, in your family, and even the world. God has truly granted his mercy and grace upon those who can bear the heavy load and bring you through. Not without scars, hardship, not without losses and or tears, but he brought you through, and you're still here with another opportunity to shatter the norm and activate the miracle. See, life has a way of teaching us 50-cent lessons. Help us to realize that every no does not necessarily mean no. It could possibly mean that life is re- requiring a little more of us at each new level we achieve. As without the lessons, we learn nothing. And without them, how will we know the difference? no matter where no matter where you're at this very moment today, know that only you can change the things that need to be changed to begin to achieve the things that you desire to achieve. Begin your outline and or list and get busy, because your present situation is not your destination, but it only moves when you do. Do you desire more out of life? What steps are you going to take to start on your way? Do you remember the 6 steps in the starting point of achievement to your desires? Where can you always find money? Well, in the dictionary, of course. Who doesn't like to travel? Whether by airplane, boat, or trains, people are traveling daily, going all over the world and exploring new horizons and doing good at home in other countries in efforts to educate and help the world and make it a better place for everyone to live. Imagine having financial freedom, personal freedom, and time freedom. And what would that look like to you? Imagine designing a life where you can earn more, travel more, save more, and experience more. Does this sound like something you can do? My partners and I like to invite you to a free webinar business exposure offer. You can email me at trogers068@gmail.com. Title: Free Webinar Business Exposure Offer. Include your full name, address, best contact number, and best date and time to reach you. Just a little food for thought and a little something to think about as we go about our daily life, day in and day out. In these ever changing times, as things may never go back to the same as we knew it. And here is an offer that could possibly change you and your family's life forever. Imagine discovering how to build a strong network that embraces and empowers not just yourself but others with unlimited income opportunities. Benefit from e-commerce, work from anywhere, anytime. No inventory, no quotes. Become a travel professional, earn travel commissions, and learn secrets of travel professionals. If this offer is of further interest, you are invited. Join my partners and I for a free webinar business exposure offer. Send your email to trogers068@gmail.com. Title: Free Webinar Business Exposure Offering Marketing Professionals. Include your full name, address, best contact number, date, and time to reach you. Solid company leadership, high qualified corporate leadership team based in Atlanta, Georgia, international company, growing global, 5 years plus company online business provider that is committed to offering a financial opportunity that provides now income and, more importantly, sustainable financial security, and founded by Dr. by Mr. Donald Bradley. Yes, welcome to the best place in the planet. Does this sound like something you can do? If this offer still is of interest to you, we invite you to attend the free webinar exposure. 3 feet from goal. Write your first parent individual moment you decided you wanted more out of life. What was the first challenge you had? What was the second challenge that you had? What was the third challenge and fourth challenge? No, most common causes of failure is the habit of quitting when challenged when challenged with defeat. A 50-cent lesson in persistence. No does not necessarily mean no. How important is it for you to obtain it, and what are you willing to risk to get it? You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. Because we have the power to control our thoughts, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Henry Ford. Well, my life has been no crystal stairs. I have had my valley I have had my valley and my peaks, and the journey isn't over. So I suspect that there are more to come. Those who follow me know that I am pretty personable, and my journey has been pretty much documented, whether good or bad. Basically, because I am an emotional person with passion that wears her heart on her sleeve. Or so I have been told. I'm finding that being in business, this can be frowned upon and can reflect in the success of your business and future business partnership collaborations. No one wants to work with someone who is not able to control their emotional outbursts that can cause them to lose focus. Well, my thought on that is too bad for them, as they are missing out on one unique dynamic being woman. Starting out in this business, you will hear some of these terms. Build your brand identity, optimize your business, know your audience, scale your business, structure your business, imaging, location, virtual address and phone number, marketing strategy, convert, sell, analytics, budget, ads, CPA, cost per action, ROI, return on investments, positive and negative, ATC, average total cost, IC, inventory control or independent contractor, API, application program interface. There is also LLAs, some testing structure, retargeting new creations, manual bid with max bid, and this is just a few from the terms as there are more. Then to top it off, you are told to know your numbers because if you don't know your numbers, you don't have a business. Period. You have an expensive hobby. Although all this may appear to be intimidating and foreign to the person with no background experience in the marketing field. It can become foggy, and as you're reading and applying, one can become a little confused. I was starting out in business, let alone know how to create revenue, conversion rates, and boost average orders and or services to grow the business. So I asked for help when needed by the platform gurus and signed up for a few other mini courses like my econ, iSlack training, and listening to motivational speakers and Mind Valley speakers to help keep me on track and give me a better understanding in this new adventure. I soon began to see some results, and guess what I found? My numbers from the moments the store went live. This is actual data from March 1st, 2018 to April 2018. As you see, my visitors and sessions at my store is the overall summary of 37 visitors with 47 sessions. It increased in April 2018 to May 2018 to 350 visitors to 384 sessions, as well as I got to learn where my visitors were coming from. Okay, West Virginia, Kentucky, 1 to 3 visitors during this time frame on a $35 market budget. Now, I don't think that's bad at all. With the help of my virtual employee kit app, I believe my very first sale was in the month of June 2018, July 2018. I say it's worth the investment, work, time, and commitment I have put in so far, and I am continuing. One of my favorite speakers to listen to is Mr. Les Brown, and I love the speech he gave with the phrase, make it okay to fail. Have faith and ignorance. Leap and grow your wings on the way down. And then he provides 5 reasons why you won't fail. Great inspirations for every day. Another inspiration to read is Gary Vaynerchuk book entitled Crushing It. An entrepreneur is someone who finds a way. Saunders McBride, an excerpt from the book mentioned above. Really good read and insightful as the journey is going. I am new to the community and I am making my way with a little help as I go. I share this reason being that if anyone feels that this may be the adventure for them to create residual income, I welcome you aboard of the most life altering experience you could possibly imagine. If you're fearful of the journey, I want you to know that I understand. I watched an interview with David Lynch and Lisa Nichols titled Learn to Love Your Life and Yourself. And after listening to the commentary, it gave me a light bulb moment. Some of my fear went away because I realized that it's okay to be authentically me, and what others may think of me is none of my business, even in business. Many times along this journey, I have been asked, what is my why? I was having difficulty figuring out my why. Now, don't get me wrong, I have I had and have many reasons as to why I chose to start my own business, but it wasn't until I saw my own shadow from my own light that I was able to unveil my why. Now I stumbled on a term called the feminine shadow, which is defined as the part of ourselves that is unknown to ourselves and to others. The shadow contains both positive and negative aspects of ourselves and represents unveiled parts of our lives. You can find that information at www.womenlovepower.com. Aspects of the seven feminine archetypes shadow. According to psychologist Carl Chung, archetypes are the universe images that form the basis of all our instincts, unlearned behavior that has positive and negative traits. Our persona represents emotional blind spots, excess baggage, the passion and tendencies by which we self sabotage. Dr. Chung listed these as the seven archetypes, and they are the sage, the huntress, the mystic, the queen, the mother, the maiden, the lover. It's really a good article to read when one gets the time. Anywho, it was after reading and talks with those closest to me and a few not so close that I figured out that on any given day, any of these shadows can appear, and they have in various areas of my life over time. Which brings me to defining my why, and it has a lot to do with healing and forgiving myself for pushing me hard and long after years of overcoming challenges and obstacles. I finally came I finally can allow myself to concentrate on the betterment of myself in the areas of health, wellness, financial stability, and overall being and lifestyle. Having reared two children and going through life experiences, marriage, divorce, broken relationships, loss, death of loved ones, while still keeping my children safe from harm and teaching them respect for themselves and others, moral values and kindness to be independent of me. All a while, my actions showed them more than my words ever could, helping with my grandchildren and caring for my loved ones when needed. I realized that along the way, I forgot to care for me. Tia, it wasn't until I was like 6 months into my new journey that I realized just how much of a presence I had in everyone's life, meeting needs, meeting every need possible in my power. Some may call it people pleasing. I call it taking care of my family and friends and associates. I realized that I have been spending so much of my life making it happen for everyone except me, doing what I thought was making others happy and not me. And it is through this journey that I am discovering that what I desire and dream of can come to manifest itself in my imperfect, weird way, loving me as I continue to grow. I am excited about my new adventures that awaits me. Many times I have just sat back and, and back and did as I was told. And today I do things differently. I do things today that will impact my life on a large scale. I am opening my mind to new opportunities and learning to be okay with taking a loss or not looking so good among the masses. As I learn, I grow in ways that I never thought could have been possible had I not taken this journey. I can only imagine now how it would have been, but I rather keep focused on that is possible. And if I should lose my way or stray from my path, I remember that all I have to do is get back on it. If something doesn't work, then I can change how I am doing them and start anew all over again. I'm learning to accept my flaws and all that is right and okay with me. It's only the beginning of the journey. So if I was to allow fear, doubt, shame to get in the way, it would be a disservice to myself and the world. So I ask for help when I need it, and I invest wisely in the things that are going to enhance my life and my entrepreneuring spirit. I do this by managing time, managing my time, completing tasks, and being okay with having to go back if unable to, not getting too bent out of shape if I am unable to do things that I have set out to do, taking time to relax and enjoy my family when needed or as needed. These are just a few ways I still have time and room to incorporate other ways to help me work more efficiently and ways that will help me enhance my productivity, like getting the proper rest so that I can continue to enjoy the journey and get clear on where I wish to go and achieving yet another level of success in my life. The key to anything is to prepare ahead. I know that my day is coming, just like when I pack my lunch in this insulated tube. Where am I? Sorry, I lost my place. Vision six. Oh, here I am. Okay. The key to anything is to prepare ahead. I know that my day is coming, just like when I pack my lunch in this insulated tote for work. If I place a well balanced meal with healthy snack choices and a water for and water for nourishment, I will the have a more productive day. So if you're new to this journey, don't be so quick to give up because things aren't always as you would have expected them to be at this very moment. As the moment you give up, had you gone just a little more, you break through, your breakthrough would be around the corner, up the road. The key is to set SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. Our own individual lifestyles will dictate most of how things will get scheduled. You just have to be mindful of your business goals and set the time to do them. Work as much as you can when you can, or as little as you can in the little time you can. It's really up to you and how things will go. Things will get implemented. If any of this information was helpful, you please leave a comment? I would love to read your input as we are all unique in our own ways and learn from one another. Best wishes in your success. Desire is the starting point of all achievement. Fix your mind on the exact number of things and or money you desire. Determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the thing and or money you desire. Establish a definite date when you intend to possess the thing and or money you desire. Create a definite plan for carrying out your desire. Begin at once, ready or not, and put your plan into action. Write a clear, concise statement of the thing or amount of money you intend to acquire. Give a time limit. Give a time limit. State what you intend to give in return for the thing or money that then describe clearly the plan through which you intend to accumulate it. Read your Read your written statement aloud twice daily, morning and night. As you read, see, feel, and believe yourself already in possession of the money and or thing. This will more than likely take you some time, so don't be too hard on yourself. As Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither will your desire, hopes, and dreams. My mother always said, that nothing of God is complicated, and you know I found that her words were correct. As you keep the faith and keep taking action steps toward whatever it is that you desire to obtain, believe me when I say, if you never stop going, soon you will arrive. Be good to yourself and others along the way. Even show acts of kindness that may not be kind to you as they will need it most. Just don't stop. Suggested reading: Your First Year in Network Marketing by Mark and Yarnell Renee Reed. Yarnell. Crushing It by Gary Vandercheck. Think and Grow Rich The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill. When life means more than just an income. After many years of service in the field of human services in a variety of areas, I've realized that in order to truly help someone, you must first listen to hear their need. Over the years, especially in the beginning, you want to save the world. As time goes on, you soon discover that you can only help the individual or individuals that have the desire, commitment, and will to truly help themselves. You become a source of information, resource, referral agent, and transporter for them to reach their next destination in life. Being good at what you do comes from a mixture of skills, one's ability to be unbiased and non judgmental, life experience, educational background, and field experience, unpaid and or paid, as well as the relationship and or acquaintance you develop along the way that help others navigate through their path to their level of greatness. As in the field of human services, you must meet the individual and or individuals where they are to begin to develop a trusting working relationship. And this can take some time. Most times it can require more time than any service provider has to give to anyone they are helping. Move toward the highest level of functioning, highest level of functioning as they progress in life. The, the journey has potential to create a bond of trust as you may witness the life crisis, situations, circumstances, the regression and progression along the way. Prior to entering the e-commerce network marketing, multi-level marketing, franchise, nonprofit, entrepreneurial platform, the life shift journey of 2005 to 2020, what an amazing journey. Having faced many life challenges that began to change and develop how my future life will begin to look like. It was during the process that I discovered and explored who I truly desired to become as time was waiting for no one. Family over everything will always be my mantra, as the family is the key to life in many aspects of life. Just as we evolve, eventually so does the family. There's a parable that comes to mind, as it is one that has been stated over time, which states, he who gains the world loses his soul. Put in terms that I understand it to mean that there is much to gain on a worldly plane, but whatever one can gain on the worldly realm can never measure up to what one gains on the spiritual or soul realm. Having that faith that nothing of God is complicated provided me peace in many of the storms I have faced over the years and pulled me all right through them all, but not without changes being made. Having overcome many obstacles along the journey, like personal and family issues, crisis matters, crisis matters, suffering, losses over time, and still face to this day. Financial hardships, maintain good health, traveling as far as one can afford, private and public embarrassment and humiliation as the transition of change as I worked my way through it all. The struggle of working toward a better the struggle of working toward a better position in every aspect of life, not wanting to ever want to be concerned with whether or not I would have a place of employment, as every employer has their bottom line. I had to find my bottom line because to leave my well being to others is more scarier than taking a chance on myself. 2015 to 2020 had the most profound impact on my decision of how I truly wanted to live my life. And I knew that no one had the power to change my life more than me. So I did. For like the umpteenth time, I took a serious look at my life, and I had to identify what it was that I would truly wanted and figure out how to get it, maintain it, and make it grow to store for the generations that are now coming behind me. But how would I accomplish this task? I had a poor credit rating, approximately $70,000 in debt, grieving the loss of my parents and other family members, struggling in my relationships, and facing consequences of violating company policy on attendance, all while trying to gain some traction in my life to get it back on track. Doggy paddling all the way to keep my head above water and maintain my cool, calm, and collectiveness, all while fulfilling all life responsibilities, and still managing to help and do my part along the way, the best of my ability. During the process, I again realized that no matter what you do, you will never make everyone happy, and the only one that I was responsible for to make happy was me, for me, in order to make it through and move beyond the situation and or circumstances that I was facing at the moment in time of my life. I had a choice to give into my situation and or circumstances or take matters into my own hands. Basically, fight or flight. I chose to fight, as I know I could not go deeper into the darkness of the grief of my whole life, as change was happening all around me, which meant the only way out was to change with the changes. So I did. With less, I created more and got on a serious track of gaining more education on financial literacy. Not only did I desire to earn more, but I wanted to learn how to make the money that I earned work for me instead of me working for it. No matter what I had to work, no matter what I had to work and work hard on, me and life circumstances in order for this to work. Through a small investment, I began the work, going to therapy, as the mind is very powerful and needs to be guided when you're working towards changing your life. Having to make decisions that were necessary for change to happen, as I could not afford to break down in the breakdown. So I fought for me on every level, and I had to decide that no matter what the outcome, that I would take a stand for change in me and every aspect of my life. Win, lose, or draw, I was going to make a difference in my life. I began to develop working communications with people I have never even met and started working my way out of the darkness. To honor my parents, I knew I had to make my life count for something during my time here on this earth, whether it earned me monetary gain or not. I know that my life has meaning, more meaning than reporting to an employer that has no problem replacing me and or downsizing the company at any time without any reason or consideration of me because I am not part of its bottom line. So I decided to become my own rescue and take responsibility of my own life and earnings while working to maintain my current lifestyle. As I began to learn my new life adventure, I faced many long days and nights working towards the desired life I have decided I wanted to live. I worked my way to I worked my way to exhaustion and back, time after time and time again, making slow progress yet still building as I worked, and things began to come together. I became very excited, so excited that I began to not have the stress that I once experienced. I had a new focus on life. For the first time in my life, I was working solely for myself, not by myself, but for myself. Crazy, right? It takes some time to grasp the concept, but over time things became clear. I can never say that no one helped me along the way because that would be false tales. Because many people not only helped me but encouraged me along the way. Once I completed the first year, I had no clue that I was ready to begin the next phase of creating. As I was creating, I was also releasing all that I no longer served me and does not come along with the new me and life that I have now created on my own merits of commitment, dedication, energy, and efforts. When I think of how I made it through, I know it was due to my personal relationship with God who created me and has brought me thus far. As I learn and implement what I learn, I share it with many. Many have helped me with testing products and services, and their support gave me confidence that the life I am working so hard for is going to be worth every effort I put into it. I'm nowhere near completion or even if completion will ever arrive, but I know for sure that the feeling I have inside with all that I have chose for this part of my journey of life is far greater than any other choice I have made. The only other thing that creating something that I not only get to share with others and help myself at the same time, the only greatest thing that I created were my children. And just like the journey of child rearing has its ups and downs, I know I know building a new life will also, but it will be so worth all that comes down the pike as I grow. I'm no one special. I am a woman that wants more for her life and her family. And I am willing to do the work to make it happen, just like many of the women and men that I know and work alongside of. We may have different paths as we achieve it, but we are committed to being better than we were the day before. We work many hours that we can never get back, missing out on living a full life only to get to retirement and possibly not get to enjoy it. I don't want that to be my story, and the only way that it will not be was to change the whole narrative and begin to live life now. If my story resonates with you in any way, I like to invite you to an exposure of how I began to bring about change to my life. I invite you to a 40-minute exposure of what it is that I and so many others do on a daily basis that has allowed many to leave their corporate jobs over time to run their exclusive, lucrative opportunities, spend more time with their families, giving them time, freedom, and financial freedom. As we know, freedom has never been free. Many have paid for it with their lives, never even being exposed to more than being an employee. Will you join me for the opportunity exposure? If it's not for you, it's okay. I understand. But after you experience the opportunity exposure and you feel that this is for you, a team of leaders and myself will be ready to provide all the training you will need to begin your journey. The exposure is free. The experience of the journey is priceless, or at least it is for me. And many of my partners and leaders are here to help you through. I am just a woman that took a chance and bettered herself. Will you? How do you align yourself to obtain the master keys in life? Napoleon Hill wrote and spoke about the 17 principles to success, with the first being the definition, the, the fineness of purpose. Whatever the mind can conceive, it can believe, the mind, the mind can achieve. Whatever the mind can conceive, it can believe. The mind can achieve. No matter where you are right now, what steps can you take to begin to to begin change from right where you are presently in your life. We all are born with two lists of blessings envelopes in life. Napoleon Hill shares with us. One is the riches you may enjoy if you take possession of your mind and drive it towards your desired achievement in life. Sound health, peace of mind, labor of love of your choice, freedom from fear and worry, a positive mental attitude, material riches of your own true choice and quality. Two is the penalties you must pay if you neglect to take control of your mind and direct it. Ill health, fear and worry, indecision and doubt, frustration, discouragement throughout life, poverty and want, whole flocks evils, envy, greed, anger, hatred, and superstitions. In the network marketing profession, our mission is to help you and everyone that needs our help in opening the envelope of riches. And the starting point is when you decide that for the rest of your life that you're ready, and only when you're ready, we will teach you how to achieve it. Your only limitations are the ones you set for yourself or the ones you allow others to set for you. Get a notebook and keep it with you in your pocketbook, purse, or tool. Write down your clear description of your major desire of life, your ideal life you want to live. Write a clear statement of write a clear statement of write a clear statement of precisely what you intend to give from intended desire, life success, and start giving right from where you are. Memorize both statements of what it is that you desire and what you intend to give in return for it. And repeat and read and repeat it daily. Start each day with thanks and gratitude for the desire life you plan to live. And ask for wisdom as you take every action step along the way towards the desired success. Awaiting the next chapter. Again, my name is Tia Rodgers, and prior to becoming a network marketer, entrepreneur, I did a little research about the network marketing industry, and I found that network marketing has been around for over 50 years. Network marketing has had its ups and downs from what I have read, but companies that are legit companies are still network marketing companies today. In fact, during 2014 to 2015, the global growth of network marketing grew to 103 million people. Europe came in at 19%, Africa, Middle East came in at 1%, Asia Pacific came in 46%, and Americans came in at 34%. Is network marketing a career, you might ask? Yes, a network marketing career is a great option and a smart business. Why, you might ask? Network marketing is a smart way to achieve financial freedom, but it only works if you do the business in the right way. Looks like network marketing versus a job. Let's look at network marketing versus a job. Network marketing, you control your time, you decide what needs to be done. A job, they control your time, they decide what needs to be done. Has a network marketer approached you via email, text message, social media, or any other model of communication yet? Have you been wondering what the business model is all about? Why the industry has grown by 1.7% over the last year or so? Well, wonder no more as I invite you to attend a private webinar and or call with myself and partner to give you some more insights to see if network marketing is for you. Here are my top reasons for joining network marketing. I wanted to improve my life and lifestyle. I wanted to improve my financial situation and become debt free. I wanted to earn I wanted to learn as much about the world and travel to design and plan a life that I not only get to learn the secrets of travel, earn commissions, bonus, as well as enjoy the opportunity to become an independent operating network marketing travel professional, learn from the top leaders in the field while developing networking relationships with like minded individuals, belong to communities that support you along the way, learning as I earn and more. I wanted to learn what it takes to be in control of my time, my own time. I wanted to learn what it takes and what it will require for me to decide what is needed to be done in developing and growing a network marketing business, as well as do the same for the network marketing company that provided me the opportunity to join them as they grow. I figured that on average from research that in the beginning that I would possibly earn at least 70 cents an hour for my time put into my network put into my network marketing business, give or take. I figured that if it requires at least 1,000 hours a day, which I broke down to 24 hours of self development, learning the business, products and services, and knowing that 6% of my customers and or business partners would probably come from the internet and the 80% would come from face to face meetups. So, yes, I can say the odds were stacked against me, especially since I socialize, but I don't socialize. However, that's that's something I have to work on daily in those 24 hours. Now I figured that at 70 cents an hour for 6 days of 1,000 hours of practice could possibly earn me somewhere around $700, give or take. Not bad estimate for 6 days of who wouldn't want to earn that every week. Things that make you go, hmm. I wanted to know what it takes to develop time freedom, personal freedom, and financial freedom, and how to plan a possible early retirement, one that would allow me the freedom of retirement without having to report to a job to make ends meet. I wanted to build something that would allow me to earn a living. Should my traditional way of earning a living decide that my services would no longer be needed with their company? The uncertainty in the workforce creates much stress, especially when you're the provider. I wanted to know what it really takes to build a business. Have time, personal and financial freedom that could possibly leave a legacy for my family long after I have gone. Since I have only traveled locally and have booked a few trips on my own, that allowed me to take a vacation or a getaway. As a result of joining network marketing, I have gained knowledge and certificates in the travel industry, learned the importance of travel insurance, time zones, and climates and destinations of travel across access to off beaten path travel destinations, as well as develop working relationships with the world's best travel suppliers in the industry that works with me to create the best travel experience filled with the wonderful cuisine, the world cultures, the arts, and more for groups, businesses, and or personal solo travelers. Does this sound like something you could do? I mean, everyone travels, but how many are traveling and getting paid for it while enjoying the travel experience? If you're interested in learning more, schedule an appointment or send me a message. My partners and I will be glad to provide you with a business opportunity overview and let you decide from there if this is for you or not for you. It's your choice. It costs you nothing except time. How much is your time worth when it comes to you, your financial life, and or lifestyle? This is a question we may ask ourselves in moments or periods of our lives over time. When I officially decided to bet on myself, I attended every free webinar that connected to my interest and or passion because let's face it, who's what's what's to do something they do not really have a passion or love for. I also understand that when the time I also understand that when the time calls that you have to do what you have to do. So whatever your situation or circumstances or are will probably affect how you respond to the invitation. What is the difference between a $500 earner and a $1 billion earner? Absolutely nothing except how they choose to spend their time. As we all get 24 hours in a day. And if many of us really look at our day, you can more than likely pick the hours of the 24 where we could have been more productive. Well, my research and identifying that I wanted to invest in there was a few things. I had to learn how to take directions, correction, and instructions as they are the key factors in the success of my life as I am learning it now. The three keys are nothing new to anyone. However, they are not easily followed by many. I shared a portion of Herbert Harris' book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success, the first of the four stages of life, and it's the stage of education. It states that we are born with all that we need to succeed in life and that we basic with basic instruction in reading, writing, counting, logic, and discussion making. So the fact that you purchased this book lets me know that you're more than capable of discovering and rediscovering what you want out of life, for which I thank you, because that means in return you thought that I could possibly add some sort of value to your life or reading experience. Thank you. So the difference between the 500 earner and the $1 billion earner questions have crossed your mind as well. In most homes in America, education is a top priority. No matter how much the world changes, the educational theme continues. Whether it's formal or self taught, we can agree that literally everyone in the world is and can be educated in a variety of areas. So, why is it that we don't spend time educating ourselves on how to have a healthier, financial, stable lifestyle that will provide us time, personal, as well as financial freedom that can be left for generations? Now, generational wealth isn't new apparently, but the secrets to obtain them and aren't in every room, nor is it shared by everyone, yet it is there if you want it. However, it's your job to seek those who not only has the keys, but have done it for themselves and others over and over again for 5 years or more and are willing to share it with you. Because let's be honest, the greater the information you seek toward the betterment of your life will truly depend on the people that you surround yourself with. And they may not necessarily live in your neighborhood, or they could likely live in your neighborhood and just live normal lives, just like you and me. However, they are not easily accessible without a contact person that could possibly get you a few moments of their time to obtain some of their wisdom with you. And sometimes you can get lucky to be in the same room or event with them and hopefully get the opportunity to get a moment with them. It's funny because most of us that are seeking to enhance our lives and lifestyles probably rehearse what we think we might say, or we have our questions and or contact information written down to give them in the moment, or we just get so in awe of the honor of just being in the same room with them that we don't even know what to say. All we can say is, it's such an honor to meet you, sir or madam. Yeah, that's how it be sometimes, but we do something in the moment. Why? Mainly because we feel they have something that can benefit our life in some type of way. Improving your community, schools, parks, and or residential streets, helping our youth, young families, our elderly. If you're one that is working to not improve your life, but the lives around you, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And when they say a closed mouth won't get fed, just know that no change comes without persistence and perseverance. I know very well about persistence and perseverance. I also know what it is to do without reward, or at least monetary rewards, at least not in the beginning of anything you do in life yet. Many folks seem to miss this part, as the world has laterally placed everything at your literally have placed everything at your fingertips. Tips. Yet the process remains the same. It's just the same. It's just the sum of us get it faster than others, and it's okay as long as you get it, because nothing feels better than when you have earned it. The journey of becoming an entrepreneur has been life changing for many of us. And the more we learn, the more we want to learn and help others learn at the same time. Yet I've realized that things aren't as complicated as we make them to be, as everything works out in time. Like stated previously, Rome was not built in a day, nor is anything else in life. The journey has its highs and its lows, much like the stock market one could associate it with. As a good teacher was once a good student. As a good teacher was once a good student, and whether you're just wanting to improve your life a little or a lot, is pretty much determined on how much time you plan to put into making it happen in your life. You know why? Because it's your life and only you can live it, no one else. So, are you satisfied with your life the way it is now? Asking you if you are happy would be too easy, as happiness is a frame of mind, not satisfaction. Well, that is something that continues throughout the journey of life. Do you find that when you want something out of life, you may procrastinate, have self-doubt that you can even do it? Or do you have a pessimistic attitude toward life that gets in your way? Or do you begin something and self-sabotage it because you don't believe that you're capable of doing what it takes to get it? Is that your desire to have in your life? Don't worry. Many of us have these traits throughout life from time to time. The key is being able to recognize them when they appear in our life and work through it. Many would call it doing the hard work, because it's what's inside you that is going to bring out the best of you if you are committed to doing what needs to be done to get past it all, past it and over it. The sooner the better. But if you need time, take all the time you need. However, just know that time does move on with or without you. So you might not want to take too long, but understand that it's a process over time. The steps you take or don't take will make all the difference. Don't just take my word for it. Try it out and test it for yourself and get back to me. No regrets. It's funny how the theme or words, be your own rescue, became so powerful in life, and the very thing that appeared to be your biggest issue is the very thing that is developing and growing your life. That is very life, this very moment, and will throughout the rest of your journey. Now, stay with me as my passion in this area burns like a well-lit place, well-lit fireplace, and it drives my entire soul to move me right where I am presently before you. And I thank you for your time as is very valuable in the journey of life and should never be wasted, and neither should your money. With that being said, the information that I have shared with you in this book has probably increased or decreased in value by the time it has reached your hands. And that's only if you made it this far in the reading. I would say that most I would say that most of the world, or at least 99% of the people in the world, leaving the 1% that actually possess wealth, meaning, and freedom. Would you agree? Yet many miss the mark. Questions asked a long time ago, and one we continue to ask this very day and in every area of life and the journey. Along the journey, along the journey, we meet many who say, display, and show that they are about their money. Yet they don't see how they can build toward a better life no matter what level of life you're you're on. And that you will always have options and opportunities as long as you're looking for them. With finding the options and opportunities, people are talking about, but you're not there yet. You're not there. Not in the room, the office, on the bus, on the bus ride, and today, the virtual room. Or you heard it, but it wasn't for you, or at the time because you didn't have time to listen to it for yourself. We all are taught to listen, be respectful, and do what you're told. And when you're working, be the best worker that you can be. Be the best worker that you can be. Well, and being all that and taking pride in whatever it is that you may set out for, why we just see our, okay, wait a minute. Sorry guys. Well-being and all that, and taking pride in whatever it is that you may set out for. Why do we just see our employers as just a job? Your employer can be your very first investment company to your life and lifestyle, one that you choose and design for your life. Should you decide that you will commit to strategically work not harder, smarter, not harder. There comes a time in life when we have to level up, and leveraging in life is what it's all about, right? Each new year, new level. Look at 2020. Who would have even thought? But even in the midst of it all, God is still providing, and we all are still doing what we have to do to survive and thrive in this life. And through His grace, we are doing just that, living life. We want to live our best life, the best life that we can afford to live. Wouldn't you say? Well, at some point, life will put you to the test. Did you know that your job could possibly hold as a two source of income? If you if you do, name them. Many either are not accessible to having the option, and some have the option and never take it. Why is that? Many employers offer benefits that help their employees establish some sort of life sustaining income. Should some life changing event happen during the employee's life of service with the company. Some jobs may not, some jobs may not. In the case, it may require you to be more resourceful with the income that you earn, but it should never cost you your life earning money. In no way am I bashing jobs in the workplace, but employee safety became an important part of my life in 2017. When life on life terms happen in your life, it will either make you or break you. And I was taught to always bend but never break. Have you ever heard of that saying? When I had the opportunity to grasp what was happening in life, and especially in my own life, something clicked that told me that it has to be a better way in life. I know that in life you should take, I know that in life you should take calculated risks, and sometimes you can pay with your life. So I want to make my life worth dying for, and one that can leave a positive mark on the world. And in it, as I continue my journey. In this book, if this book helps just one person, then I would have at least put my dot in the universe. Well, back to making a difference in my life and becoming my own rescue. As a mother of two and knowing what it is to put others before yourself, I truly understand the struggle most parents face when going after their dreams of a better life. It isn't easy, but it's worth it. As the journey continues, there are many things that we face as parents taking care of our children where we sacrifice time for money, and there is nothing wrong with that because we have to do what we have to do. And many times we don't know any better, have not been exposed to it, or just simply don't trust it. What do you do when you have done everything that you have done, all that you can do? Start praying, looking, and thinking. However, remember, time is moving forward while you're doing this. So time is of the essence in the when it requires more action steps. Should it be true that people can never rise above the opinion of themselves? A good question to ask in moments like this are what to do I, or moments like this are what do I really think of myself and what life do I truly want to live? That began the facing my fears moments. No longer could I use the excuse not to drive my life in the direction that I desire to become because my family is one thing that is not open for discussion with me as I play a role in their lives that I created that had not asked to be here. To make the decision to venture into something you know nothing about nor any experience in and going for it felt like falling into a rabbit hole at first. Working and building takes some effort along the road you choose. What will grow you or keep you in conformity? Your days will be long in the beginning only because the training is very important and the training did not interfere with anything you do throughout your day. There was a time when I thought people walking around with their earpiece in their ear was talking on the phone. Now I wonder what speaker, coach, or mentor they are listening to. Funny how time and one's perspective changes through exposure of different things. How are your relationships in your family, personal life, and workplace? Could it be improved or all right just the way they are? How good are you at building new relationships and how good are you at following up with those relationships. I have to admit that I am good at speaking to and with people, but I find that over time friends and family move and or take a new path in life where you don't get to see them, but there is always the phone. But are they available to speak, as you don't know what their life may be like at the time you reach out? And we just go on living life. The most important thing that I learned about relationships is that you don't always have to see someone all the time to have a good relationship. I believe it's more of the quality of the relationship we develop over the years that matters most, as well as some relationships make your life better when they end. Why is that? But you would agree that relationships are pretty important in life. I share that I share that what was my biggest challenge in life is the very thing that brought me where I am in my life, and that's the desire for more positive relationships. That was my hardest hurdle to overcome, as being someone others can depend on can cause some earth shaking on the inside of you. I had to prioritize my life. I wanted it to get better and be better. It took some time and answering a lot of questions. But I am here coming to you all because I decided to go after a vision that I wanted to see it manifest in my life in this world. I had to get over the no factor because the no was no longer working for me, because I knew inside that I have to trust someone if I wanted to move from where I was in my life. Funny, Funny thing, when I started building new and connecting to old relationships, I saw a pattern. Many were already well on their way, doing things that is improving their lives. And there were some doing the same things they always done and were happy. Depending how old you are, you know that in building relationships that it's easy to get caught up in OPD and OPB if you're not careful. A lesson learned: when you are able to help where you can and leave the responsibilities that are not yours to those whose responsibilities they are. That's when I began to realize that no matter how much I want to help someone, that person I want to help has to want to help them. Something many of them have to want to help. Something many of us experience, especially when we see something in others they don't see in themselves. So, with humility, I thank all of you. I thank all of those. So, with humility, I thank all of those who've seen something in me that I had not yet seen in myself, because it was through those conversations that got me moving forward. Now, did I have a roadmap? No, because I thought I had the roadmap, but I was managing it poorly or allowing my limited beliefs around what I desire get in the way, until the day I could not hold back any longer. You read the information, you attend the webinars, took the notes, wrote down your goals and dreams, but you had no start date. When will you start? You tell yourself, as that's the only way to get where you're going. So I took the steps and built while I worked, caring for my family, and began training now. I will tell you that I am a beginner, and although I learned some things, I don't know it all, and I rely on those who have done it and are doing it to guide me along the way. And I must say, they are doing a pretty good job, as my has paid investments has paid for itself and will continue to pay for itself. The future, I go and never give up. Sharing information, tips, and helping others is like a second nature to me. And it really doesn't matter whether it pays me or not, as long as it helps the person. As I am growing in my new life adventure and seeing the values I have as an employee and now knowing what it takes to become an entrepreneur, I am figuring out what value I am worth in this field of life. I ask myself, what do I have to add to someone's life that can possibly make it better and more than just an opportunity or options? Something that can touch their life in a way that can truly make a difference. And the one thing that I can come up with is me. I add value because I have experienced life on life terms and navigated through it. I know what it is to feel completely alone in a room filled with people and not feel heard, valued, or appreciated. I know what it is to rear children and have to deal with what life can throw at you and still get up and smile and earn a living. I know what it is to go to work not feeling as if you're respected, valued, and or appreciated, treated as if your thoughts and opinions aren't worthy to be taken into consideration, and even if they are hard, even if they are heard, not taken into consideration, just getting the job done. Work mentality. Having faced financial hardships that could have been handled better had I prepared for them like I learned how to now. I know the trauma one can face from horrific events that did not impact me directly, but impacted me indirectly, and still having to report as if it was business as usual. Over time, people will tell you if you're not happy, then leave. You don't have to stay there. However, true, we stay either because we absolutely love what we do, so we join forces that are helping implement change in the workplace, or we continue to work and feel miserable about the work we do and how we do it. Believe me, either way, it begins to show up. How you feel about what you do for a living. Early on, I decided to become a person that I helped Early on, I decided to become a person that helped other people, and my career track record shows just that with all the years of serving others, which isn't easy, by the way, because just like you have bad days, so do those we serve. The nugget is getting past the bad days to get to the better days, and they come eventually, but it's work getting there. I learned that hitting the mark every time isn't as important as making an impact. When you make an impact, others will feel it and do something with it. Or they just might say thanks. That was powerful and do nothing at the moment. Then later you find that something you said, did, or provided made a difference in some area of their life. And some you will never know, but it never stops you from helping when and where it's needed. As we continue, as we continue the shift, as we continue to shift in life and take the action steps needed to move us forward, no matter how fast or slow you you go, it all begins to make a difference. Whether you're on the zero earner or the $1 billion earner, the process will be the same. As you continue, you will learn more about the platform and how it operates, but you will never know anything if you never try it. Starting out in anything in life is a process. When you start your job, there's a process to you becoming a top earner in your job. So the same applies when you invest in yourself. Why would it be any different? Have you thought about how much time is worth outside? Have you thought about have you thought about how much your time is worth outside of your employer? What value do you have that will help others? Questions we all ask ourselves from time to time. Like the questions, what does your life really mean? In the book, Get Over Your Damn Self, written by Romney Nonstadt, states To turn this venture business, into a successful business, you must make it a priority and carry your business with you wherever you go. She also shares this business requires you to get comfortable being uncomfortable. I must agree, she is right, just as many leaders will tell you from the door. It's true. We don't have the traditional business and or startup, but we do have business. Some have figured out how to unlock their business matrix, and others are still working towards it. But everyone is working their business. If you're new and you just signed up, I hope that you have taken the time to at least build your back office to look like a business. And because our business is a turnkey business, it doesn't really require much except your information and your photo. I crack up when I see business websites with no photo because who is doing business? Casper the Friendly Ghost? We don't know who you are, and neither will the people you service should they choose the unknown source of business. Consistency is what will make all the difference. When you're starting out, as you train, you will learn all the social media business ways to help your already turnkey business into a moving, growing business automatically. That will free up some of your time to do other things in your business. I took the time to learn, grow, and establish myself as an independent entrepreneur as I wanted to be in position for when business begins to grow and pick up momentum. Whenever you come across a problem or find yourself stuck, it usually means that you need to take some sort of action you have not taken to get past the sensation, stuck sensation you may feel it throughout periods of time and growing your business. You have to know when to reach up or reach down to move your business forward, and you cannot be afraid to not ask for help when needed. There's plenty of support along the way, and should you not find the information that can help you from within your group, you may have to outsource and get a coach or mentor if you're unable to find one within your group. But I'm pretty sure you can locate one within your group. Over the time I have spent investments in my venture of an entrepreneurial business, let me tell you, you nothing has been wasted as I continue to learn and earn and grow in my business and become certified in areas of my choosing. The experience has been short of nothing but wonderful. Now, algebra is not my best subject, and business appears to have many algebraic formulas, but not the type that are not impossible to figure out. You just have to keep going to figure out your formula that works best for you and your business. Not always easy, especially in the beginning, but should you choose to stick with it, magic begins to happen. The magic within you, magic that you create, begins to unfold and stretch you like you probably never been stretched before. Just continue just count it all good. And being your own rescue, there are times that you will have to go at it alone. But remember, you're not alone. And you know why? Because you develop your business, you're going to identify accountability partners, a coach, a leader, and a mentor. But remember, these people are very busy doing what you're doing, but they are successful at it and have been doing it for years. So do bring the A game plan list. No BS. Bring the list of what you need to know and be open to their information and use it. If you have to let the information marinate, please do so. But the best results come from just doing what they say do. is proven and tested to have the best results. This doesn't mean that you can't put your own spin on it. It just means that success loves speed, and the faster you act, the better your chances become to achieving success, the success you desire. Is life going to happen? Is life going to happen? Yes. Life will continue to happen. You will still be working on getting your credit fixed, purchasing your home or car, going to work, and building your business. The thing I have found is those who are really ready and committed to themselves tend to fare better than those just looking for the next hot thing to do because everyone else is doing it most cases. You may ask yourself, how does one thrive through uncertainty? Easy. We can do anything about the uncertainty, so we focus on what we do have control over, and that is us. What we do to get through the uncertainty moments that come in life. Never give up, no matter what life throws at you. Just keep going, growing slowly or fast. Just keep doing something that will grow you for later past the present moment you're maybe experiencing. How often do we stop in the midst of an experience and ask ourselves, what can I learn from this? Or how can I make this better so the next time it comes around, I can handle it better? Many times, sorry guys, sorry. Um, okay, sorry. It comes around or how I can make this better. So the next time it comes around, I can handle it better. Many times we take the experience in and allow it to minimize who we are and what we stand for and what impact does the experience really have on our lives. We want to be right. We want to be right, heard, and not taken for granted or feel less because we may have a different perspective on the experience. One thing for sure, when enough is enough, you will begin to go deep within to bring forth what you always knew was in you, but may have not but may have needed a push to bring it out. What is the experience that is pushing you to go deep within to bring something out of you that has always been inside of you? Do you know how to begin to nurture it, help it come forth in your life? It's okay if you don't. No, because as you continue the journey, all will be revealed to you if you keep seeking it. Is it going to be hard? Damn Skippy. Is it is it damn Skippy it is. But after you but wait a minute. Shh. Is it going to be hard? Damn Skippy it is. But aren't you worth worth it being hard? Are you not worth discovering what may be inside you that you nor the world would ever know had you not taken the steps to continue to become your own rescue? See, it's easy to blame life circumstances on other people, places, and things, but it's hard to see that it's you that made the choices of the people, places, and things that you may feel are interfering with your life and the success of your life. It's hard to admit that you may have utilized your finances in the improper way, and that's why you have debt now. It's hard to admit that you're not right about everything and that you may need to learn something new that could possibly enhance your life and make it better. And it's even harder to leave and or let go of some of the people that you love and care for behind while you go after what you want. That is going to improve your life in the long run of it. Just know that those that just know just know that those that are wait a minute, moving up. Just know that those that are for you will always be there with you in some form or fashion. routing, rooting you on as you blaze the trail towards your new life adventure. So don't worry about who will accept you nor who will reject you. Just know that in the end, you and everything that is within you will flourish in their season. No regrets simply means that you are taking full responsibility for your life today and every day after every day after because you're worth it. Having no regrets mean that you are using the life experiences as your stools towards your path of greatness in your life, and you're grateful for the experiences because without them, you would not be the person you are today. No regrets means that and you can love and let love you. You can take a licking and keep on ticking because the one that has created you has made you for this very moment in time to help others who may feel like giving up and there is no way out of the madness, another way to change the picture that is currently playing in their minds. Presently today, no regrets means that you provide the options of the invite, exposure, and the opportunity for them should they choose to take it, as well as you vow to see them through until they find their way and can drive without you. In life, sometimes the most ordinary things we take for granted and just do on a daily basis without question, rhyme, or reason appear common to you. And it's not until others see you doing something you think is common and it appears extraordinary to them, but not you, not you, because this is what you do daily. And it's nothing extraordinary about it until you take a moment to observe and reflect. Not everyone is doing what you're doing. Therefore, they are not getting the results that you are getting. And that's your magic. Finding your way. Women and men that are on their way. On their way where? Imagine living a life with no limits, a life that you create and manage. Do you know what steps it will take to get there? When you reach your salary cap of income, will it be enough to sustain you well in and after retirement? Over your years of service with your employer, have you managed to save enough to live off should family matters or life events happen? Do you deserve to live a life of purpose and passion for your choice? What are you willing to give to get the results that you want? And will you begin today? Over my years of employment, I have not really heard of anyone that may not enjoy the experience of working with me. But there are always a few exceptions along the journey. I found it could have possibly been faults of not really taking the time to see one another as people and not an object that produces an outcome. Work relationships aren't always perfect, but the majority of them are pretty good, especially when you work with like-minded individuals focused on the overall goal of the work we do. So, if I had to answer the question, would I work with myself? I have to say yes. I would. That I would. Yes, I would because I know the work would be done. But I am sure we all feel that way about ourselves. Over my years of employment, I have had the pleasure of meeting some pretty motivated and powerful individuals in their own right. Not everyone that I started out with is with me now, but our team is still meeting goals and doing our best to continue to help others reach theirs. It's true, you don't have to have a PhD in life because you will earn it one way or the other. Like they say, from jail to Yale, as nothing is guaranteed in life. However, the action steps we take while living this life will be all the difference. Many people will try to count you out and let them, just as long as you don't count yourself out, as you and the things you have done, will do, and begin to do as you move toward the future is going to make a difference in your life. Now, one thing I know is that all that you do will not give you monetary reward, or some will, and the question is, will you still be growing and doing even if it does not provide you immediate monetary reward? Many will probably answer no, as who works and does not get paid for it? Well, let me answer thousands of people, if not more, as as the working class as the working class we work through downsizing, closing working class we work through downsizing, closings, layoffs, furlough days, days without pay, even job loss, and now COVID-19. As people, we are far more resilient and we give ourselves credit for. We made it through a lot of things and we continue to do it today. Many of us have overcome a number of historical and life events and current things, and we are still here. So, why are we leaving our livelihood in the hand of others and are afraid to take a chance and bet on our own efforts to generate income? An income that allows you to earn off of your efforts, your presence in the world, efforts that you put in place with an untraditional twist, one that is different from your traditional way of earning an income. I can understand if you doubt yourself. I can understand if you're doubtful, just like many of you, until you tried it for yourself. The idea of making your own work schedule, working the hours that you choose to work, investing in yourself at the level in which you're able to invest in, as well as tons of free and paid training, events through partnerships while continuing to build, grow in business as you go. It could take little time to get things started and running because you can build on a part-time or full-time basis. Now it's time to tweak and improve in areas that you may have missed or just simply had to take a course or hire someone to teach you to do it for you. Do it for you. I said yes. I said success like speed. So that means things are changing quickly, rapidly, and it's important to keep up as things that once worked are no longer outdated and or obsolete, but how business is done is growing and is prosperous for many. Shoot. Um, in the beginning, it was a little tough as it takes time for your family, friends, and associates to get on board because everyone wants to know how do you make money because you're learning as you're going. It can be difficult to explain. All you could do was continue doing what you're doing and show them how the many possible ways that one can get paid in the industry of network marketing. They believe they are getting the concept. They believe they are getting the concept now as I progress moving forward. The more I learn, the more there is to learn. Due to the fast changing world that we live in, but nothing has stopped business. It may slow down in areas, but other areas are doing just fine and thriving. I will forever invite people to come take a look at a service business opportunity exposure because you never know whose life it may change. Some members grow fast, others slow. No matter how we grow, we continue to grow and support one another in our services. Many say that they want freedom. Excuse me. Many say they want freedom, but how do you define freedom? What does freedom look like to you. What will you do for your freedom? So once you have answered these questions, apply with health, wealth, time, and personal freedom, define look like for you and how you plan to get it. Will it be on your short goal list or your long term list? How much time are you giving yourself to achieve it? How much are you willing to pay for it and maintain it? When I say pay for it, I don't mean just in monetary form. Pay in the sense of how many hours will you have to put into your life changing opportunity. Be realistic, especially if you are a caregiver or a loved one, parent, have a family that depends on you to provide for them. Two work two working hours that we agree to work despite our differences in how the job is done, where we all are safe and win in the goal. There, three, track the actual time that it takes in your daily routine and begin to implement tasks in your business and those open slots of time. This may or may not require some change in a routine or thinking about the actual time that we have in a day to get some things done and moving forward. Some people are social people, some are group people, and some are writers, some are speakers, some are coaches, some are mentors, some are global people, and some are financial, health, and wellness people, and more. I'm sure you are doing your research or at least going to start and one day attend a service product business exposure invitation. Back in the early 90s, now I'm going to take you back a bit, but stay with me. I eventually get to the point. Now, this young man was in the middle of a presentation at a relative's house, and it was the first time I had ever seen something like that. After that, seen many from established, continuing, growing business in the industry today. Many Americans have side hustles or part times or full time side job based off of their financial needs, wants, or desires. This is why knowing where you stand financially is so very important in anything that we pursue in life because it lets us know what we are working with to obtain the things that we need and want within reason. And it's not so much that people are not responsible, it's more that today one setback and income can take months, even years of recovery. However, with help in those areas, it can really make all the difference in an individual and or individual's life. Everyone in their lifetime will possibly experience some type of financial hardship. And it's nothing to be ashamed of because it's something we can correct or clean up. When you file for bankruptcy, most times they will require you to take a financial course that helps you to get all your expenses and debt worked out. Please note that I am not, nor do I profess to be a financial advisor or specialist, but I imagine having access to a company that can only help you get to a better handle on your financial situation. It has also allowed you to improve your financial score, pay off debts, and rebuild your credit along the way. Access to a system that allows you to keep track of all your financial expenses and expenditures for your financial future, which helps you to keep track and better handle your financial future plans all in one. Sounds like a great start to a great financial health. Whether you decide to start a new educational system, career system, or business opportunity system, as long as you do something that will bring about change in your life so that the way your life is today will be a different life in 5 or 10 years from now, that you will thank the person you are today for doing what you need to do when you get there. We we may not know what is coming ahead, but ahead of us, but we now but we now have options. skills, tools that can help us to plan for whatever it will be. You are your greatest asset to the life you desire and or lifestyle you want to live. You just have to start somewhere. Never give up and continue to be your own rescue. All right. Okay, guys. All right, guys. That is a little bit of finding your way. Okay, wait a minute. Let me do it like this because I know that cover kind of like takes it off, but I think that's a little better for you guys. Finding your way. When you decide that you will make the difference in your life. Um, I'm going to try to remember where I left off at, and then I will come back and finish the rest of the reading to share with you all. Finding Your Way Now is available on Amazon.com, the ebook, and I have the physical book here that I'm trying to figure out how to get to you all. So if you have enjoyed some of the information that I've shared with you from the reading of Finding Your Way, please pick it up and you can read it for yourself. If there's any feedback about what you've heard here, please feel free to leave it down in the comments. But my grandson turns a year old today, and I'm already 2 hours late to his party because I wanted to bring this information to you. Um, so I love you guys. Thank you very much for your time. Like I say, your time is very valuable. I have a message, and I'm going about getting it out there. So I hope to be coming back to you soon, guys. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Whatever you do, don't give up on you. Never quit.